Good morning, Sawona, Molo, Huya Mora. How are you doing? I hope and I trust that you're having an amazing morning thus far, and you're perhaps wondering what we are doing right now. Your favorite rendezvous right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show, brought to you by the Blinko Network. And you know that on a day-to-day morning, we always bring you the picture of the day, and today and this morning is no exception whatsoever. And the picture of the day today is Le Kgalemetse Provincial Park. Nested in the northern reaches of Limpopo's Drakensberg, Le Kgalemetse Provincial Park is one of South Africa's best-kept secrets, a lush green sanctuary where misty mountains meet crystal clear streams and ancient forests hum with life. This breathtaking park offers more than just scenery. It's heaven of biodiversity, home of rare bird species, vibrant plant life, and of course, peaceful trails that invite you to slow down and reconnect with nature. Whether you're seeking solitude, adventure, or simply a place to breathe, Le Kgalemetse delivers a tranquil escape that feels worlds away from the everyday. So with that being said, let you and I see each other a bit later on, where we always give you your daily dose of positivity that is accompanied by an energetic start to the day. But with that being said, right after this, we're going to be going straight into your morning news headlines. Of course, after that, straight into sports with the one and only son of Mother Nature, Mweketi My Money. But with that being said, I'll see you after this. Cool stuff.
All right, a very good morning to you. I hope that you are feeling good this morning. Let us keep you updated with your latest news headline. Starting off with our first headline, Dobsonville authorities uncover suspected smuggling operation. A woman is set to appear in a Roodepoort court for allegedly trafficking Mozambican boys, forcing them into street vending in South Africa. Locals claim the mirrors a past incident with children previously escaping captivity in Dobsonville, Soweto. On the next headline, private rail firms granted access to state-owned tracks. South Africa's rail sector is undergoing major reform, with 11 new train operators set to launch under the government's rail reform program. This milestone is expected to unlock private investments, expand rail capacity, and stimulate economic growth. Experts predict billions will flow into the industry, creating jobs and boosting local manufacturing. Mesela Ntlapo, CEO of the African Rail Industry Association, calls investment patriotic capital, a commitment to building the nation's economy. On your last news headline, immigration refugee laws require clearer healthcare guidelines. Foreign nationals are entitled to emergency medical care but not guaranteed access to public healthcare facilities. Amid Operation Tudula's protest blocking foreigners from clinics, the Health Portfolio Committee briefed MPs on the issue. Chair Dr. Sibongiseni Dlomo called for amendments to the Immigration and Refugee Act, saying current laws are too broad and unclear about who qualifies for government health services. That is all for your news headline. Heading over to your sports news, starting off with rugby news. Boks back on the horse as they set sight on Auckland. The Springboks bounced back from their defeat in Johannesburg with a gritty 30-22 win over Australia in Cape Town, restoring confidence ahead of their clash with the All Blacks at Eden Park. Despite a conservative kick, heavy strategy and late team changes, including Jean-Luc Dupree's withdrawal, the Boks held firm. Injuries to key players like Peter Steff, Dutoit and Siya Kolisi remain a concern. Coach Rassie Erasmus acknowledged the performance wasn't perfect but emphasized the importance of regaining momentum. With Argentina also improving, the Rugby Championship is shaping up to be fiercely competitive. Now heading over to your football news, Kaizer Chiefs face ultimate test in Sundowns clash. Kaizer Chiefs face a major test against defending champion Mamelodi Sundowns on the 27th of August, with both teams unbeaten in the Betway Premiership. Chiefs have won 3 straight and welcome back head coach Nasreddine Nabi. Sundowns aim to bounce back after an MTN 8 semi-final loss. Tuesday's fixture include Pirates versus Orbit College and Stellies face Marumo Gallants, while Wednesday sees Sekhukhune United host Amazulu and Golden Arrows take on Makesi. Stellies, winless in the league, hope to carry MTN 8 momentum into their clash. Now on your tennis news, Medvedev beaten after photographer enters court. Denis Medvedev's US Open match against Benjamin Bonzi turned chaotic when a photographer walked onto the court during match point in the third set. Umpire Greg Allensworth allowed Bonzi a first serve redo, sparking Medvedev's fury and igniting the crowd. The 6-minute delay rattled Bonzi, who failed to close out the match immediately. Medvedev rallied to win the third and fourth sets but ultimately lost. The photographer's credentials were revoked and Medvedev's Grand Slam struggles continue. That is all for now. Stay tuned for more sports and news updates throughout the show. Don't forget to share your thoughts on these headlines with us on social media using the hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show and send us your voice note on 060-493-3226. Now let's get you safe on those roads with your latest traffic update with Afriberry standing by after a short break.
Unmuting mics.
Good morning. Now let's get you safe on the road with your traffic update. We're starting off with the crash on the N12 eastbound at the Amnoods interchange. The left lane is currently closed and the delays are stretching all the way back to Fort Dekker Road. Expect some congestion in that area. Now on the R21 northbound near Benoni, at the R23 turnoff, there's a stationary vehicle affecting the left lane. Please approach with caution and drive carefully. Now also on the N1 southbound, just past Gersfontein Road, another stationary vehicle is blocking the left lane. Fortunately, traffic is still flowing smoothly through the area. Stay tuned for more traffic updates and please do not move, do not go anywhere, because we always make sure that you start your day with a whole lot of energy.
20 minutes till we hit 8 o'clock. And yes, welcome back to another exciting episode of the Vooka Breakfast Show. You know, it is your energetic start to your day, accompanied by that daily dose of positivity. Happy Tuesday to all of you who are watching from wherever you are watching from and listening from. I would like to say a very good morning to you. I hope that you are feeling wonderful on this wonderful, of course, Tuesday morning. And it is the last week of August. So I'm hoping that whatever that you have planned ahead for next month is up and rolling, because of course yesterday was Monday. It was about planning, but today is all about putting that plan into action, right? As we've started off with your picture of the day and gave you your latest news headline and sports and traffic updates for all of those who are driving in this morning, commuting to work and also commuting to school. I hope that you guys will travel safe to your designated destinations. But with that being said, you know that I'm not always rolling alone. I have my team right here, the team that makes everything great and makes everything fantastic for you and give you all of the best broadcasting. Right. So what I'm going to do right now is to invite you on our social media platforms. You can join us by just typing Vooka Breakfast Show on all social media platforms. We will pop out, and then all you need to do is to subscribe and follow us, and also press the notification button. If you want to comment, please do so by using the hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show. And if you want to dial us in, of course, the number to do that is 0604-333226. That is 0604-333226. And yes, as I said, that I have my team right here. Very good morning to you guys. How are you doing this morning?
Good morning, Mo. Good morning, Mo. Good morning, Mo. I'm glad that you're back, man. I missed you, bro. Like, I missed our little fights. It's like, you know, you're like the cousin that I never had, you know?
Hey, man. I mean, yeah. It happens when someone... they just go for a little while and they come back. I mean, I'm back from my sabbatical, if I can put it like that, man. So, yeah,
next
it's
time
good
when
to
you
be
vanish,
here.
can I come with you?
No.
I
don't want anyone in my space. I'm a loner. Nah. And I love my space. I love my peace. Anyone who invades my peace, they are looking for a fight. And that's not what I want. No. Whatever, you are a pastor, you are a God's child, I don't care. I don't want anyone in my space unless I invite you myself. If you invite yourself, then we're going to have a problem.
Oh, wow. Then I'm glad that you're back. It's nice seeing you back. And good morning, South Africa. I hope everybody's doing okay and amazing on this amazing Choose Mazketela. And yes, as you know, I go by the name of Afriberry, also known as Miss Berry Blaze. But to the darker the berry, the sweeter than Tuntun. Nina, I also missed you wonderful viewers. Because I know Ma never forgets me. Ma, I missed you, Ma.
Yeah, she will be with us. And of course, Mena, by just being on the comment section, all you need to do is to use the hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show. Mr.
Mo,
how are you?
talk to me, my brother. How's it going, man?
Yeah, man. Hey,
Khanyana ntwana. Re tlo fitla. Wa gopola mabane ke buile ka re, we're trying. We're always trying, man.
Yeah.
I'm not too bad on my side as well. I'm glad that the days are slightly becoming warmer and warmer and warmer.
Yeah.
You know, I think I've said it a number of times. I'm always going to be one of those people who completely and utterly hates the winter season.
Yeah.
And yeah, man. So I've been looking forward to the warm season, man. And you know, now you know, understand that and it's giving, it's life, it's, do you get what I'm trying to say? But I'm excited. I'm looking forward to what the rest of the week is going to hold for us. And of course, in a week and a couple of days, I'm turning 25. I'm growing. You know, I'm growing up.
For the sixth time.
No, it's not
in
the
a
sixth
consecutive
time.
year, you're turning 25 years.
No, Chief.
Wow.
No, Chief. 2000 is straight. So in 2010, I was 10 years old, Makai.
But since Retoma on 25, so
Yes, 'cause
logically, so
the
to speak,
year
aren't you supposed to
started-
be turning 26?
The year started, I was 24. I'm 24 as it stands now.
Yeah. Yeah.
I understand.
Amusi.
Ka 2010 I was 10. 2018 I was 18. 2020 got lockdown I was 20, chief.
Yeah.
Or I was turning 20 that year. So, but anyway, I'm seeing a couple of you have already jumped on into our comment section. Uluetu coming through saying, good morning, Vooka team and Vooka Nation. Hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show. Hashtag Sivukile. Lerato Naidu saying, I love you guys. Hey, shout out, Lerato.
Hey, can't wait to see you in studio. So Larata Naidu will actually be with us in studio and she'll be making us an omelette.
Cool stuff. And then Uluetu coming back again saying hashtag happy Tuesday and be blessed. I love that Uluetu now is like a regular now, hanging out with us every weekday morning. And what you can do is also be like everyone else who's jumped on into our comment section using the hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show. So that's Vooka Breakfast Show on Facebook and all other social media platforms. It doesn't end there. It needs not end there. It continues on our WhatsApp line by dialing the number 060-493-3226. That's 060-493-3226. Comment, like, subscribe, and do the things that are necessary to be done so that you, myself, Mo, Afribarian, the rest of the Vooka team and the Vooka Nation can share our thoughts, our opinions, and everything else in between. Yes, sir.
Yeah, and you know that it is a Tuesday. What are you choosing on this wonderful Tuesday? But we know that in terms of making sure that we make you prepared for this day or yourself ahead of the week, we do what we call personal finance, right? Where we just invite industry professionals to come here in studio or have an interview with them, whether it's online or outside, to just give us advices that we need when it comes to our finances. So somebody who is going to be joining us for today's day on a personal finance is Mr. Mtutuzeli Kweta. He is a financial advisor, right? As a passionate financial advisor with Liberty, he is dedicated to empowering individuals and families to achieve their financial goals through sound advice, tailored strategies, and unwavering support, along with his wealth of knowledge and his experience. He brings us a solid foundation of financial literacy and expertise to every client interaction. So this person, he is proud to have been recognized as the Advisor of the Year and Rookie of the Year for 2024, an achievement that reflects his commitment to exceptional client service and result-driven financial planning. So this accolade motivates him to continually strive for excellence and provide the highest standards of the support of his clients. So he offers what we call comprehensive financial planning tailored to your unique needs, investment strategy and portfolio management, and also retirement planning and wealth accumulation strategies, insurance solutions to protect your assets and your loved ones, and ongoing education and resources to help you inform the financial decisions. So I hope that is the conversation that you do not want to miss. Only and exclusively right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show. Please make sure that you stay tuned for that conversation, because I know some of you are tired of being advised by your friends, your family members when it comes to your finances. Don't worry, we've got you covered. They will be here. He will be here with us online, of course. Speaking everything financial, because we know that as a country we are facing so many financial struggles, but we remember every time that a storm might shake you, but it doesn't have to break you. So you need to weather the storm. I know that financials, when it comes to us as friends and black families, it's a very sensitive issue.
Yay.
Immediately when you say, hey, this is the amount of money I have, and this is what I can afford, people start saying, Horwena, he. You are called by names. And I don't know if it is understandable that, if I have to put down my salary and say, guys, whatever that you want me to provide, I can't, because this is the amount that I have. They'll start calling you names.
Do you believe in that thing, then? The thing of sharing your
salary?
At home.
Yes. I mean, it depends. It depends in terms of what do they need from you each and every month. Because they're like, okay, you live with us here, and I think because now you have our financial means, so every month we demand 4,500 from you.
Okay, now that's a lot. For me, it's a lot, hey. As much as you live at home, you can only help with certain things. Like if, for example, me, I still live at home, they know perfect example, grocery right tlhakanela. If I'm going to buy, like, for example, the basics, beef, flour, rice, tswekere, that means that somebody else at home tshwantsang the dealer gore ba reke shabo. And then the other one will have to buy like our toiletries, sepa sa ho tlhapa, your toothpaste, your washing powder, your dishwashing liquid, that kind of stuff. So that's how I do it at home. We all split. So that means that everybody has to dip inside the cookie jar and basically spend. But I think the one thing that we struggle the most with in terms of black families is being seen as weird or being seen as somebody who doesn't care once you start to mention the fact that no, I want to start investing or savings. Savings in black families, it's like a taboo. Like, o savela eng? Jwang go sna phofu. Like, why o save? They don't think ahead of time what will happen in the next 3 months. With my savings in the next 3 months, next. Maybe 2 out of the 3 people that used to work are unemployed. That means that I can now tap into my savings to actually delegate some of the things that those 2 used to buy that I now have to buy. And unfortunately, it's seen as a sin, because I know even at home they're like, and I'm like, my bro, like, rainy days happen. If you fall right now and you just do it, what am I supposed to do now?
I mean, there's some of the things that we teach our families, to treat us. I mean, you teach your friends how to treat you, because sometimes you even ask, Hore, why do people treat me like this? But we saw you where now, like, every time your salary, you were blowing it. We know you, Hore, you were blowing it. And I don't blame when I am coming and ask you, Horaibo, when manje saving kwenzakalani ndoda asidlele imali. Because for the past 7 years, I've known you as that person who's blowing money. Even in the family, they are tracking your spending pattern, your spending pattern. And yes, we can. So we now have a say. We have a say on your money to say, share.
I'm blowing it. Yeah, I choose to.
I understand.
Blow it. Doesn't matter. It can be 30 years.
Yeah.
You have no, and whether I get blow or not, you have no right to come and say, "How, Chief? Now you're starting to save young."
Based
on what?
I'm looking at your spending patterns. And your spending patterns tells me.
So let's say for example,
Meat can't do this.
Let's say for example, it's starting to become warm. Right?
Yeah.
Let's say after the show, September, as it's about to start in less than a week.
Yeah.
I buy a cold drink, and this is a similar example Banela made last week. I start buying cold drink every day after the show.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Or as we're about to eat lunch, whenever.
Yeah.
I buy a cold drink for a good month or 2. And then I stop. I'm gonna come and ask Chief, how's a cold drink, you know?
Yes. I mean, what are you saying, my brother? You are saving. No. Pella, you have to let us know why you are saving.
No.
Let us know.
I have to.
Guys, understand.
What do you have to?
Just understand the environments that you guys put yourself in. Because, of course, there are certain people who expect things from you.
Yeah, woman, I love that you said that.
We expect things from you.
That's where a lot of us lose it. That's where a lot of us have it wrong, Mr. Moore. Is that a whole lot of individuals in society have expectations.
Yeah.
And expectations are given, yes, we have them, of each of us.
Yeah.
Right? But to a certain extent, I could argue and say that's a wrong mindset to have and to possess.
Yeah.
To expect as opposed to approaching me, sitting me down and having a decent conversation with me. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Excuse me, sorry.
What stopped?
What's happening?
Yes.
Well, understand? As opposed to saying, wow, save a man. No.
Because Uchoa looked a cold drink. So why are you saving? So I think the expectation comes to say you have to explain to people. Because you don't owe anyone an explanation. No. Guys,
it also comes up to the fact that cold drink. Like all the time we use the fact that
I'm buying because I want cold drink.
No,
I'm
but
not buying because I have to. And
I also like it for 40 mil.
Because I want to buy 2 liter. I choose to buy 2 liter. Ke tjhelete ya ka.
Yeah.
And what I buy with it, it has nothing to do with anyone else.
Yeah.
If it's something that I buy that all of us can consume at the same time and share, that's my choice.
Yeah.
And whether or not I stop to buy it, I owe none of you an explanation as to why. What you can ask me, I think maybe it's the question and the manner of approach is how brag. Why did you stop? Not hore, why are you saving? Why am I saving? Do you get what I'm trying to say, Mo?
Yeah,
man.
Yeah,
But
but in a way, what he's saying is actually kind of true because I always make the perfect example of the way I live the situation. One thing I noticed is that if I keep on buying something, like Musi just said, they always expect me to buy it. So I've kind of changed the pattern or how I buy. I can literally go a whole month without even buying whatever I used to buy. And when I buy it once and then I skip. And then buy it because like sets about right or oh yeah no she's gonna stop and she's not gonna buy it again. So sometimes we are becoming a creature of habit also is not so much of a good thing, especially if you live in an environment where there's like a whole lot of people around you, because like you said, they end up becoming dependent on what you give them or what you supply. Hence it comes to the point of 2 liter.
You see?
That's a decent question. That's a fair question.
Yeah. I mean, right here, it's understandable that the first time you do something for someone, they're grateful for it. The second time, they expect that thing. And the third time, they now demand it. The fourth time, they will fight you or resent you for not doing it. In which I don't blame them. And
you're getting upset over my money.
If somebody fights me, because of the spending patterns they've seen on me, I won't blame them to say, you know what, I understand.
You know where you would have leg to stand on, or in what situation, what scenario. If I come to you having had or exhibited bad spending patterns, right, and traits, and then I come to you and I bother you to help me financially, then we can have a conversation, or it can be debated or argued. Okay, you have leg to stand on.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. I mean, you know, with you, I see it's a different story because everywhere we go, people, and I have had the term money talks, right? So if we're now going to explain yourself, I'm not buying, it's like, okay, but when I come and buy you something, already the money is speaking for itself to say, no, man, I think I need to expect certain things from Musi. If Nalwena, we are sharing an account, right? You share your login details.
That's a different scenario.
So
altogether.
When you stop paying, I'm like, hi, Bondoda. Why?
Oh, you know, when
Why
you say that, it actually reminds me of a video that I saw. It happened in the UK. This man was living, he just moved into a new block. For example, Odula Momukasi, spent 3 years and has been using the neighbor's Wi-Fi. So the neighbor finally decided to put on a password. The audacity of this old man. He went to knock at the neighbors. They was like, so I think there's something wrong with the Wi-Fi. He's like, okay, what's wrong with the Wi-Fi? It's got a password. It's like, yeah, I know. It's like, why did you put a password in your Wi-Fi? It's like, but it's my Wi-Fi. It's like, no, but I've been using it for 3 years now. Like, okay, give me the password. So, like, some people earn a bit of entitlement. Like, you've been using it for 3 years. When were you gonna wake up and actually start installing your own?
Man, that's being crazy, man. Something is wrong, because first thing first, you see, this is not your what can I say? Like the address itself, it's just telling you that this Wi-Fi belongs to next door, right? But we know, guys, when it comes to finances, it's a different story. You know, people have different advices for yourself, whether it's your friend. But now we are living in what we call Cyril's economy. A lot of things are happening in our country, and of course people are even struggling to make ends meet. With that being said, man, please join us on our on this conversation right there on YouTube by commenting down below by using the hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show, or you can call us or send us your voice note on 060-493-3226. That's 060-493-3226. We know that some of you you blew it, then you became financial advisors, not just financial advisors but broke financial financial advisors, right? And then I see right there we have some comments coming through. Tembimni coming through saying the Dakade Berry, miss you too, babes.
Love you, mommy.
She comes through again, say good morning, Vooka team and Vooka Nation. Hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show. Hashtag Sivugile on a Tuesday. Wishing you a blessed day ahead. Thank you so much, and we wish you a blessed day ahead. Mom, I hope that you enjoyed. And then she say, I choose the Vooka team today, and we choose you with much love. TC Kwamazibugo comes through, say hashtag Sivugile. So these are the stats for right? For about 23 to 24% of household social grants are the main source of income, overshadowing salaries, specifically in 2024. That figure stood at 23.8%. And to back that up, we are living in the weak economic growth and the employment crisis in our country, which our GDP growth remains sluggish. 0.1% in Q1 this year, 2025, narrowly avoiding recession, and 0.6% for 2024. Both far below population growth levels. So that is a very huge crisis, right? And then Zinzi comes through saying a very good morning to beautiful Lady Afriberry and hand gentlemen.
Hi,
Some gentlemen,
Z.
Musi Mister and the son of Mother Nature. Hope you are well, including the Vooka Nation. Happy Tuesday and hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show. Join in the conversation. Join in the conversation and tell us, Rowena, how do you manage your money? Do you still keep your money under your mattress? Do you still keep your money in the little shoebox and things like that?
I get when you're one of those people who wants a cashless society.
Cashless society.
Nah, bro, it's not realistic.
Hey, but now it's I think last week Kilekoma Kuling, and I was like, I have my card on myself. I'm like, how much are the cost close? Like 6 rand. And I was like, can I tap them? Like, no, I can't tap anything less than I'm like, hi, Bonkosia. Mikanti, what world are we living in?
We're
Cashless
not yet in a
society.
cashless society, my bro.
No, we have to force it.
We're still fun. I can't reka chepisi ka karata.
Mo, it's not-
Hey,
it's not
one
realistic,
chepisa 5
man.
bob
It's
ka
not practical.
karata. Like it makes no sense because they still need to get the charges from your card. How are you gonna charge 50 cent?
Hey, Baba, you're a businesswoman or a businessman.
Oh,
Mina ngena
wow.
apho kuthi wena, how are you managing your payment systems and methods? There is cards that we need to use. Card phela abatsho gore do not buy chippies. Is it written when you open a account? Go Standard
But it's
Bank.
not practical, Mo.
Don't
Thank
buy
you very
chippies.
much, Moose.
It's not practical. Even in first world countries, man. Like
Yeah.
to a certain extent, cash there needs to be hand-to-hand cash flow
Yeah.
on a day-to-day basis. Or understand that? I mean, for the past 2 weeks, we've been talking about the taxi association versus e-hailers scandal and situation that the country has been facing. And for businesses like that one,
Yeah.
how is SARS going to regulate? How is the government going to regulate? Because it's a cash business. And I doubt whether the taxi industry in South Africa specifically will go into a cashless way of functioning
They won't.
as an industry.
They
Do you get what I'm
won't.
trying to say?
But where we are going, man, in terms of
Don't get me wrong.
digital-
The world is growing
It is.
technologically,
It is.
digitally, so, and all of those things, right?
Yeah.
Science-wise, and all these other industries. Sure, there's growth, there's evolvement, and whatever else.
Yeah.
But I doubt, and that's just one example.
Yeah.
That's just one major example for that $1. But as opposed to completely being cashless in society, actually. I'm one of those people who doesn't even condone it. I don't vouch for it personally.
I mean, going cashless, it means now less drugs on the streets. It's something that people do not see that way. When we go cashless, trust me, there's going to be less drugs on the streets because
Why?
now, I get obviously a digital footprint. Whenever you tap or you buy something with your card, there is history that is going to be left
Yes.
there. No, man, when you are selling cocaine, because we are seeing it
Who's
right
going
here.
to
We are seeing it.
How are you going to see that it's
Obviously,
cocaine?
Obviously, when they check, okay, this is you, where now you have a VW Polo, you're not working, they're going to go through, or okay, what do you do?
No,
And
I have
then
a business.
people are tapping there, and we don't see some of the things that you are selling. You can't hide it. You will
How
never
many
hide it.
businesses act as fronts, Mo?
A lot
now.
a lot business.
Thank you
A lot
very
of
much.
businesses.
So it's not like they're going to go through each and every single transaction that a person makes. Where I go buy my 5 gram of cocaine,
Trust
and they're not
me.
going to notice that it's cocaine, and maybe written chocolate bars or over then the transaction script, and you'll also look at the statement. It's not going to write cocaine. It's going to write
That's
something
the
different.
problem. You are selling chocolate bars. The next thing. Yeah, you are selling chocolate bars. The next thing, when you forget yourself, because there's always a slip up. Whether you like, if you're doing something illegally, you will slip. When you sold 300,000 chocolates, the next thing, boom, there's no chocolate, even single chocolate in your household, right? But that is some of the financial crisis that we are facing in terms of regulating, because obviously in the taxi industry, I think they just need to work on their framework in general, because this is not just a taxi industry, it's $1 million industry. And of course, when the world moves digitally, that means they're going to lose more money, whether they like it or not.
Besides moving digitally, already they exceed the fine, it's the traffic. So them being on a digital space, it's going to shine a spotlight on the fact that they don't have insurance for these cars.
Yeah.
Most of these cars are not being serviced. Besides being serviced, they don't actually even pay their fines. Like I've had a friend of mine who got a new taxi. He had to go pay fines first for the fines that the previous driver had before he can even drive the taxi. So for them, moving into a cashless society, it's going to shine a light on so many things, so many bad things that are happening within the taxi industry. Like it's a lot. Besides the fact that they don't service the cars, they're also ditching fines and stuff. There's a whole lot of things that happen within the industry. So it's that one. It's definitely going to be a battle before they even get it there. Like for example, right now, one thing that the world or the US per se is fighting against is the fact of us having our very own BRICS currency, and we already have a prototype of the money, so it just needs to be put into circulation, and then bye dollars, hello BRICS currency.
Yeah, and then TC comes through saying the regions most reliant on grants in Mzansi are Eastern Cape. 38.9% of the population right there in the Eastern Cape, they rely on a grant, and then Northern Cape is 34.4%, and heading over to Limpopo, 33.8%, with the Western Cape having the least reliance at 14%. Right? In 2024, the proportion of individuals receiving social grants rose to 40.1%, equating the approximately 25.4 million people in Mzansi. And then she says, anyway, I am choosing peace by not looking at my bank balance. Abantu Bay 25, it's hello, Bobby. Safana, most of them are like Sala 340 or 208. People are going through the most, guys. Dikoloto, because there was a financial statement that was released in terms of the debt crisis in South Africa. It's bad. Like, guys, it's bad.
A lot of people having debt?
I think it's over 75% of the population is in debt right now.
But I mean, how can you not be surprised at those numbers, or at those the numbers are just the percentages in general? Because already coming into the workforce, when you have to purchase whatever, house, car, clothes, normal things that people make use of on a day-to-day basis, you have to have credit score and like that just baffles me. I've never understood it to this day. I've never reconciled with that concept.
I guess it's a credit risk analysis. If you want to take out, for example, or maybe you want to get a laptop go Telkom on a contract, you need to at least have maybe account to go Mr. Price, account to go Fushini, so that they can see that you're able to handle debt. So for them, it's not a loss for them giving you that laptop, and because they know you have other accounts, meaning that you will know the fact that you need to pay it. It's them basically putting you in before we can even give you whatever you want. We need to see vele horowe. Now, can you put yourself in the same ocean you want to jump into voluntarily, and can you pay back? So most of the time, people, for example, even when you want to get a home loan, you at least need to have some certain amount of credit risk that's even available. The same goes for when you get a car at a dealership. You at least need to have somehow okay, re ka kgona mo fa 150,000 gore re kgone reka koloi. O tlo tlo tsebe patal because una na account to go home choice, account to go kai. It's risk analysis.
Yeah, man. So please avoid debt at all costs because it's bad, man. You are going to end up, in a lot of swimming in a lot of debt because there's someone out there who's owing TFG over 65,000 rands, right? Yeah, so it is very bad. But there is a flip side that I just want to discuss right here in terms of our financials because we know when we bring it back home and when it hits home, that's where we run away from things. We always look for people outside, they do those whatever credit things. But right now, your friend or your family member has been taking the responsibility that you were unaware of. Now you have the money and responsibilities are passed on. You complain. Will you do that? There's some responsibilities.
What, complain?
Yeah, so to say, now you're the one who has the money and rent needs to be paid, utilities need to be paid and things like that. What do you do?
Okay, it's based on individual to individual. I don't think you can generalize it.
Yeah.
This is just how I make sense of it in my head. I've had a few responsibilities that were shifted to me, and it's part of growth, man.
Yeah.
Like I get what I know when I let you papa. Understand? Yeah, I'm like pay for it. Yes.
Yeah.
Need to know is subjective. But yes, we can have a conversation. And this is what I just ask more now. How do people feel about disclosing their salaries at home? And what for me that does is it creates expectation.
Yeah, calculate.
50,000. Ke gola 50,000 matata ka ke 100,000. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Come, let me cook after period. Wait.
Sorry, let me eat.
So it's based on individual perception.
Yeah.
And how you make sense of it and how you approach it and how you are brought up as an individual. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So if I'm starting to get into the workforce as a young adult and ke gola 5,000 or whatever amount, 500, 2,000, 1,000 rands, it doesn't matter. I should expect that there is a level of responsibility that is going to be shifted on me because now I get you alleviating weight from whoever has been taking care of the household or the people who have been contributing to making the household function on a day-to-day basis. So ratusana rabontana, one understand, but it's based on individual perception and understanding.
Yeah,
one understand. So I personally wouldn't mind because it has happened. There are responsibilities, and there are responsibilities that the day I'm able to make whatever amount of money, there are ones that to now, so I want to take upon myself. Understand? But because now I'm not necessarily making that kind of money, I can't take them on. But I know, okay, and then we have priorities. 5,000, but how we spend that 5,000 is different. It's going to be totally different. Firstly, right? We know it's 20 rands going to town, 20 rands coming back. So that's 40 rands a day. 40 rands times 5 days. 5 days AO times 4 weeks. AO get transport really to rebella sighting. We can say maybe we're spending more or less the same money. When we're at work, we eat differently. Lunch. Do you carry lunch or do you buy lunch at work? Do you get what I'm trying to say? Outside of that, at home, what responsibilities do you have? Do you neglect all of those things like Afriperi mentioned? One buys meat, one buys essentials, basic groceries like bupi, oil, or whatever else, eggs, bread, right? Do I have those responsibilities? Perhaps I don't. What if Kejolale Cherry Echolan 10,000? Chireka is a cruiser. Understand? There are a lot of individual contributing factors and variables that come into play.
Yeah.
So it's based on how you as an individual you reconcile with that concept, man.
I'm glad that you mentioned understanding because we have seen that a lot of households, they lack what we call financial literacy.
Yes.
Right? And the question now needs to be asked right now on the table, Hore, are you guys financially
Literate.
Yeah, literate. Would you say you are financially literate?
Am I financially literate? Not as much as I'd like to be. I think you and I, a couple of months ago, when we first started hanging out and spent time with Osvaldo, we were able to tell him, Hori, we more often than not, what's the word I always forget? Impulsive spenders. Right, I remember last year as I was working, there's this lady, she'd always say, "Hey, when I'm with you, every time I was on Merikong, you want to pass by, go pick and pick. Snacking, man, cold drinking, chocolate, the sweet, something sweet. Understand? Because what would happen is that we'd leave the house and she would eat, because she's someone who's very much into exercising and diets and working out and all of those things. So she watches her intake and what she consumes and all of that. But half past 3 since 8, 9 so I'd like, no man, let's grab something. It doesn't have to be like a. So every other day let's grab something. Let's 50 rand, let's buy something. So I do exhibit to those traits. Even not just Kili one, I don't take into consideration the long run, so I'm not as literate as I'd like to be, but I am wary of my spending patterns. Yes, sir.
With you, Afroberry?
I would say that I'm a bit literate. The reason being, it's because for me, when I have my money, like I literally sit it all down first. And I deal with the most important things first. Do I have any debt at that month?
Yeah.
For example, there's this other person, so I'm like, okay, cheleta di spicy kele, and I'm like, okay, kele cheleta di spice. And then I split it, I also go towards cheleta ya cruzar. I'm like, okay, does my son need anything else? Does my son and my little brother need anything? Then I also shift it to that one. Then I always leave extra money on that side for emergencies. Like, I don't even have a cent, but out of nowhere, because I saw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and I know or an emergency fund that I put away aside, they'll see me go outside. I'm like, no, I'm coming back, and in 2 minutes I come back with whatever is missing at home. So anyway, I would say that I am financially literate, but not properly financially literate, but I'm just aware of my spending habits. Like, for example, I haven't bought myself a pair of shoes in forever. The only new shoes that I got are shoes that somebody bought for me, but for not personally, with my own money. I think the last time I bought myself shoes was back in 2023. The last time I ever bought myself a dress or anything else in terms of a clothing item was basically last year around March. So I barely ever spend a lot of money on things that are like that. But when it comes to responsibilities, that's something that I've always had, like since high school. I actually started working in high school doing promotions. So when it comes to me, whether or not they'll shift and say, no, you take care of this or that, it's something that I've been doing throughout the longest time, since high school till now. When it comes to sharing the financial burden at home, that's something that I know, it's about like the back of my hand. That one. Yeah.
But talk to us, man. If you're watching or listening right there at home, and if you would consider yourself as someone who is financially literate, right? When it comes to money, financially, you can plan, and you know what? Because when it comes to this, there are guys go kasi. It's a rumor, with 500, they pay rent, they buy groceries, they pay their car installments.
There are people like that, my guy.
And they pay girlfriend allowance.
No, but with 500, let's do calculations and also look at the economy itself. With 500 rand, like you can't even buy like basic essentials. 500 Joe. 500
Chief.
For you, Chief. Well, now you can't. want. Someone out
500
there-
bokhweletse dilo nna tlisa 5 clipper yo ngenza izinto manje
wa bona o yena o ka re reka hamper ele ya ko Shoprite ele ya 100 rand
No, guys. There are people who can literally make plans, because sometimes when you are from, like maybe you are living in the Babs, and all you know is whatever that comes situation, if it requires a certain amount of money, you pay that amount of money, and you're like, ish, situation it needs 12,000, and you meet a guy and say, no, Antoine, I mean, I'm 350. You're like, hi, bo, 350. What is this guy going to do with 350? You give the guy 350, the next thing, 12,000, how gone, vanished, right? But the reason some of people, they are not financial literate. Why I'm saying that is because some couples, when they fight, a guy will say, after everything I've done for you, like, dude, you bought a Coke. Coke, your 40 milliliters. What do you mean after everything you've done?
That's
like,
the situation with my
spent
grandparents.
with you. Spendili mali yami, guys. Like, I spent my money on you. So I don't understand when you say after everything I have done for you. So when you come and speak about financials, I think it is something that when you become sensitive, with it, or insensitive, guys, please be careful on that one, right? And then TC comes through and say, Butle comes and say, good morning, Vooka Breakfast Show, and everyone. Hope you have a blessed day. Hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show. A very good morning to you. I hope that you're going to also enjoy your day ahead of you, right? TC says, yay, we are living in the times of cryptocurrency. There are criminals who mask their criminal financial activity through Bitcoin, and let's not forget our forex traders always in our DMs. And then she comes and say, woo, how will the taxi industry move into digital spaces? Basalwa nama e-hailers. Nabu robotaxi China ba busy driving people around without a driver. Lol, ziyakhala. Yeza la leyo tech. Yeza la yini yeza manje.
Iyeza naleyo thing ngathanda kwale iyeza TC yakubhala
aveza mamane
ivele
are hey we couldn't read on Friday
it's what you write, it's unreadable.
I understand because sometimes when you write a comment when already you have written in your mind, right? And then it happens. Iyeza. But guys, whatever e-hailing, digital is where we are going. Taxis, we will have to pay using our phones, guys. Everyone can. I mean, the buses are using it. I get a tap and everything. You had the game when you check in.
How do you load your tag?
How do you load your tag?
Yes.
Through a bank account.
But I go automatically. Passport doesn't take automatically.
Yeah, but I understand with the technology that we have today, you load your tag through your bank account and then you get your taxi, you pay. We are going through as simple as that.
No, but you physically have to go again.
Yeah.
Always load wherever.
Yeah.
Whether Kiko Makuleng or whether
No. We're not loading. I follow the line. We are alleviating to that line itself. Like we are saying no more lines, guys. No more queues. Oh, loader, hey, I'm late. No. You have your smartphone with you.
The system is down.
The system is down. You understand? You have your phone with you. Load your tag using your cell phone or your banking app. And then how can I go taxing? I think it will be convenient like that. How can you pay and then you put in your location and then takes you alone? Look at these ideas that
e-hailing, Baba.
Petrol. Right, yeah, man. But let us know what you think right there in the comment section. But another thing, of course, there are a lot of things that are happening in South Africa. And as I've labeled, there's what we call the serial economy. Right. Last week I was going through social media and a lot of guys, they have came in through some of the comment section on this thread, that was being posted. Hore. The reason why I am not paying lobola is this.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
And the whole narrative of lobola needs to change now in this whole economy that we are living in.
Okay.
Right? Because it's bad. It's bad. But
I
have a
support
clip.
him.
Yeah, I have a clip right here from, of course, Mr. Penwell and Lebo Level M, giving their sentiments on what they think in terms of ilobola. Because abanye abantu, yes, when it comes to ilobola, when you only know lobola through your uncles or through social media. No, this is what needs to happen when we talk about ilobola. But there are some people who have their own sentiments, and we would also like to hear from you. Do you think people need to still pay ilobola? And if you had to be lobolad, how much would you charge them right now with everything you have done? Right, but let's play the clip and just hear, man, some of the sentiments. This is Penuel M and with Penuel and Lebo M. So let's play the clip quickly. Okay, let me do this and sound on. And yes, we are good to go.
Mase kuthiwa siyalobola noma mfana mele ukhiphe inkomo ngoba uthatha ubuntombi bale ntombazana cha baba ebengenabo ubuntombi. So why are we not having that conversation? And now I'm getting uncles that barely know me. She's getting uncles that barely know her to come and discuss something so big. And my issue is a lot of these things end up causing more harm than good. Ukulobola nokuhlawula was meant to bring families together. Fix any things that may have been done wrong, and then get us to maybe raise these children together. Get us as a couple to bring our families together so that we build. But these things have been destructive. And because of poverty mentality, your family is now going to demand 50,000, 100,000 from me. Because I impregnated their daughter because I want to marry their daughter. There are so many elders today holding on to our customs, and these things. And a lot of them have been miseducated. I am fine. 50,000. That's wrong. Back in the day. So how dare you say that? So now we have to educate Umkulu because he's lost.
We need to really, and me included, get to evaluate who we are, our culture and society. Because if we're going to be doing things like lobola on a basis of cash, is this how this shit started 100 years ago? Yes, we're not living 100 years ago, but what was the principle behind it?
What was the motive?
If anybody comes to me now and said 200,000-300,000 lobola, you understand what I'm saying? Yeah, because if it's going to that uncle that was not there from age 2, fuck you, go get a job. You know what I'm saying? But now we have become so abusive to culture.
Amen, amen, amen. As a woman, Mo, like, I just want to say that for me, bruh, even 5,000 is enough. Reason being, it's because me and my partner still need to build a life after that. I do not understand why do I need to have a partner that needs to pay 10,000, 30, 50, or 100,000. We still want to have a wedding. After the wedding, we still need to move into our own place. We still need to get grocery for Tina and Lini. We still need to eat. We still need to pay electricity. We still need to pay the water bill. So all of that money could have gone towards our future. So for me as a female, me my grandmother told me straight up, girl, I get like the highest limit a person could ever pay is 10,000. Don't be out here asking for more 30,000 whatever, because I still need to build a future with this person. We still need to have a family together. We still need to secure a house. We still need to secure investments for our family. We still need to get furniture for our house or whatever that is missing in our house. I do not see it necessary for umuntu keep imalenga for lobola. And just as ulebu M ashola palugut leamal iyagupi. For me, I come from a big family. A very huge family. Like I have gang uncles, gang aunts, gang grandmothers, gang great mothers, a whole bunch of cousins that I have. And for me, it makes no sense. They don't
even know you.
They don't even know me. Or better yet, if it didn't buy me anything, I'm grown now. You have never even contributed a single cent towards the growth of my son. Okay, you didn't do that sharp. You have your sister who is my grandmother, and you've never even let out a single cent. I make sense. That one makes utterly no sense. The same goes for damages. Even for me, okay, damages also should at least maybe amount to 3,000 or 2,000. Reason being that there still need to be money that still needs to go towards raising their child, especially if we're not living together. as a baby daddy who you and the person are not dating, I do not see the point of you guys literally spending a whole lot of money on the damages, because together, sansan little khudisangwana, oh, forgive me, and maybe a whole lot of females will be like, no, you're selling yourself cheap, but I'm not selling myself. It's all about uniting families. There is no need for me to even put, there shouldn't even be a price tag, but because it's African culture that has already been there for the longest time, a price tag is always going to be there, unfortunately. And if it's not, they
I mean, we see that nowadays, man, people are starting, to become enlightened. People are starting to do their research, and people are starting to question. And we know that each and every time when we question things, right? People, they're like, no, why are you questioning something that has been there for such a long time? Understand? And of course, when we sit down and try to come up with ways and processes to say, guys, how can I find myself in this, relationship with this person, and now get to a point of marrying them? Of course, having a family together. And do we now go call up Bomalome who don't even don't know how to calculate, the expenses, of.
I love where you're taking it.
Yeah, the uncles, they come and they just come, or no, Rona, this is how we were taught. But no, uncle, you don't understand. Like you pay them to. So why are you going to set this amount of money?
I love where you're taking it.
Yeah.
I love where you're taking it. And Mr. B, TC, I think you and I and TC and Banele had this conversation together.
Yeah.
Or between TC and Afriperi a while ago. So, I always say, being an adult doesn't constitute having smarts. One understand? Being an adult does not constitute that you have a great reasoning capacity. And it gets an example, and it's an exaggerated and ridiculous example, but it's just, but the example I also do realize what is just one factor, or one side of it, or a single side of it. It could have multiple sides to it, right? Let's go back to when you and I and all of us, I'm talking to you, when now you're already saying when you were in high school, but there are 50 I get it, right? So when you grow up, adults as we are now, do you automatically, magically, by some grace, form or manner, somehow, are you automatically like a smart person? Not. No. Yes, I'm not saying, and this is not mutual, because this is something that someone raised on the comment section when I did raise this example, saying that, hi, Musi, being book smart not being book smart doesn't mean that you are not nice as an individual, even as an adult. Yes, I recognize that, right, completely. I'm wary of that. I take cognizance of that. Mara as an example, just to show you, and I don't want to use words like butlata or anything. That's why I get a smart. How mnati, how simnati, how mnati. And more than mostly, or in more than most cases, never na bona re kena sekolo le bona o na kra 350 like lene general nje hamnati. One understand. And so now you're an adult, umalume manje, and now I'm taking it back to what you just said. Umalume now has to go and negotiate on your behalf. And malume hamnati ene self ene malume mufa 50,000 ke first time I twara ene self. Because there are situations like that where the uncle or those aunts or whoever family members are going to represent you at the girl's family. Ke khona a tshwarang 60,000 or 50,000 ka matsogo a gagwe physically. I see why you utlwa gate gore gona le 50,000. Wa understand? Se motho sa yeno gote or malume or the lady has never held 50,000 in his hands, or has never seen a bunch of money. Or le botlolo la 10,000 or le botlolo la so tina senza kanje. They are absolutely right. And in more than most cases, I never really necessarily agree with Penno. But what he and Lebo Emma are saying is absolutely right. And I always say that because something has always been happening or has been happening for a long time means not that it's a right mentality or it's the right way of doing things. Right? I always say sometimes when we're having these kinds of conversations, get your mentality of the homesteads. And it's not to say they can't think or they don't have great reasoning capacity, right? But there are things that are done in the homesteads that don't make sense. One understand. I'll make a ridiculous example. I don't care where you come from, whether Northwest, Natal, Eastern Cape, Limpopo, Mpumalanga, Free State, all of these homesteads, so totally, there is similarities in the way people make sense of things, right? Otlamoka sisothorebela ukuthi hayi mina ngimkwenkwe wena emona ngikwenkwe mo Dobsonville emona undota kwalona mina and that's my thing. And so you come with these mentalities of saying hey mshana awulazi isiko, like panel is saying awulazi isiko mshana isiko lithi kumele uhlawule ngebhodlela lo goloko emona bhodlela la goloko ke bukayi utlore bhodlela la goloko, like, and like Ebo M saying said what was the substitute for those things years ago? Because let's be honest, some of our parents got 200. Honestly speaking, because 200 was a lot of money back then. One understand, but in the space of finances, what was being used? Because finances were used in the space of cows. Were in urban areas, we can't make use of cattle, right? So Mabare Kome one is 5,000.
Yeah.
But like, what am I paying that for? Like, let's sit down and be practical about it. And he absolutely makes a great example in saying that people who have no right to be speaking on our behalf as a couple, they've never spent time with you. Your uncles don't know me, have never spent time with me. Some of your brothers and your sisters and your family members don't even like me, but they now are in a position to say, no, Musi has to pay 60,000 for Africa. Based on what?
And you know, when you say that, Musi, like, you took it back to a point back then, Mahadi, for example, could have been 200 rand. And then I see that Banele came through and said, quick question, if a girl now, a lady kept herself pure throughout Lobola negotiation stage, should the Lobola fee be low? Back then, whether you're a virgin or not, it was still low. So just because it should now also become higher. You know, you can keep yourself pure and not have a kid and still be a virgin. But are you pure of heart? Is your heart pure? I can marry you because you're a virgin, but you can have one of the most deadliest, vicious hearts ever. And I could be digging my own grave. We should be judging people according to their character or personality, not because they are pure or not. What if you're marrying a guy who's never had any sexual contact? What is his lobola price?
Actually, I think you're right.
What is his lobola price? Because all his potos on the female no. Chichi agazi indoda amabela samile akanamntwana. Indoda yena engazi izinqa ekazabona intombi yona. Ekazangeni intombi. Yona sibhadela malini ukuthi umuntu okhona uzibambile. Wasiphatha kahle nayo sayichichi.
Yeah.
Like, it makes no sense.
The guy is not going to bear children.
It's not gonna bear children.
You are brought to
Yeah.
But in order for me to do that, I also need your semen. So why is my family not paying the price for your semen?
because I can impregnate more women, but when you can only be impregnated
By one guy.
At a time, yeah.
Right. But yeah, man. Yeah, the conversation is still going to continue. Why not just let us know what you think? Some of the comment section, I see them right there. And one of them is from Kiyama Shao saying, good morning, Vooka Nation.
Hello, Kia.
Financial literacy and planning is so important in this day and age. Personally, I budget everything down to the last cent and I don't like spending at all.
No, she always
Right?
says that.
Yeah.
At home, she says, Bona, I will tell you where every rand went to. She's
Yeah,
big on
yeah.
that. I know, yeah. So.
Financial sensitivity is what we are seeing. I see some of the comments. I'm going to come back to them because now our financial advisor is going to be joining us shortly. As mentioned, that we're going to be joined by Mr. Mtutuzeli Gweta right now on the Vooka Breakfast Show. And we've been talking about finances and, of course, looking into how we mismanage our funds out there. How can we get the help that we need as people, especially in this economic crisis that we are facing? People are struggling to meet the ends, right? So Mr. Mtutuzeli is a passionate financial advisor with Liberty, dedicated to empowering individuals and families to achieve their financial goals through sound advice, tailored strategies, and unwavering support, along with his wealth of knowledge and experience. He brings a solid foundation of financial literacy and expertise to every client interaction. So he is proud to have been recognized as the Advisor of the Year and Rookie of the Year for 2024, an achievement that reflects his commitment to exceptional client service and result-driven financial planning. This accolade motivates him to continually strive for excellence and provide the highest standard of support for his clients. Right, so he is going to be with us and share much in terms of what is he offering, because many of you are complaining in terms of some of the systems that have been put that are against you in terms of how to spend your money and how you always find yourself in debt. So with that being said, let me just put him in and welcome him right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show. Good morning, Mr. Mtutuzeli. How are you this morning? Can you hear me? Okay, while we're still fixing that, yeah, he's saying he can't hear me. So we're going to fix it shortly and then start the conversation. So I hope that you guys are ready for this conversation. And if you want to, join the conversation, you can dial us or send your voice note on 060-493-3226, 060-493-3226. And on YouTube, that is hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show. And you can, he's talking. Oh, can you please unmute yourself, my good sir? Are you muted? Unmuted? I think he can't hear me. That's why. So we just need to make sure that he can hear me, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, but with that being said, guys, you can ask him questions as the conversation, has started, so that you can also get those financial advice that you need. But yeah, we're still fixing the sound issue because yes, he can't hear us and we can't hear him. So shortly, that sound issue will be fixed. So please do make sure that you stay with us. But in the meantime, let us just take a short break, and then when we come back, surely everything will be sorted. So please do not go anywhere.
Hello?
All right, welcome back. You're still watching the Vooka Breakfast Show. The energetic started to your day, accompanied by that daily dose of positivity. Mr. Mtutuzeli is back right now, and we can we have his sound signal. But right now, can I ask you to turn your device into landscape? The way it was before, just to get that full screen and place yourself. There we go. There we go. There we go. Yes, that is much better. Once again, sorry for those technical issues that we have. A very good morning to you. How are you doing this morning, my good sir?
No, I'm very good, thank you. And how are you?
We are thrilled and happy to have you because, yes, I have been fighting with my team members right here on the table, just scuffling each other with the financial issues to say, you know what, man, we need to speak. We need to be clear with how much you earn. But you're here to help us. And, of course, with the people who are listening and watching at home, if someone right now is watching and listening, can you just please take them through a brief introduction of what you really do?
Okay, so my name is Mtutu Zeikoeta, also known as the Liberty Guy. I am an accredited financial advisor. My number one job is to bring comfort and full understanding around your financial literacy. So be it savings, be it investing, be it insurance, be it the day you die, be it your living benefits. I'm basically the person who holds you by the hand and takes you through life stages. So you don't need to be the most wealthiest person, nor the brokest. You just need to be a person who has an ambition, an aspiration to want to do better in their finances. So that's my job at Liberty and Standard Bank. We focus on taking care of you.
Yeah. A lot of people, when they hear finance, they always hear this very huge, and big word and not know how and where to start, right? And I believe that we all have the basics just to understand, where we are as human beings with our finances. So most people listening and watching right now feel that financial planning is only for the rich or people earning big salaries. From your experience, why is financial literacy just as important for an ordinary South African earning, say, 6,000 to 12,000 a month?
I think we need to go back to the basics where I think a lot of people feel there's too much month at the end of the money, not too much money at the end of the month. Okay. So your question is absolutely right. Financial literacy is just, it's not just for the wealthy. It's in fact for everybody. It's important that even if you're earning a modest income, let's say at around 7,000 a month, it's important for you to understand where every cent goes. You may find that the things that you're not tracking are the ones that are actually accumulating. A little a day goes a long way, and that ends up eating away at your discretionary income, leaving you a little bit tight at each month. So if you're living paycheck to paycheck, it's because we're not also looking at those small steps. So my biggest thing is track your income, track your expenses. Write it down. Do not have the ostrich approach where you just dig your head into the ground and not look at what's going on. Paydays on the 25th or paydays on the 30th, and you never check the statements to see, okay, what are the things moving out from a debit order perspective? It shouldn't be battle of the debit orders. You should track it all. And that's where the downfall for a lot of people is, regardless of how much you're earning.
So when we speak about tracking your money and writing each and every expenses, are we saying that every expense, even if it's those little things that you do in your day-to-day basis, you need to journal them down to say, no, this is how much I have spent?
Yeah. I mean, think about it like this. When you're running a business, in order to track if you're running a profit, we need to make sure we look at the financials. We need to look at the statements. We need to be in alignment with what are we doing, just like exercising also. When you are exercising, you want to be in track with your goals. You want to be in line with how far you are. So the same thing goes with your money. If you're not looking at those, small increments that are being moved, be it a 20 Rand for data or be it 100 Rand for a Bolt or Uber Eats, those little amounts add up and they eat away at what you should be saving. I go with the philosophy that we should be doing the 50-30-20 rule. So 50% is for your needs and your responsibilities. 30% is for your wants. So going out, taking care of yourself, grooming wise, and all that kind of stuff. And then 20% is for your savings and your investing. Now, I didn't put a rand amount to it because we all earn differently, but the percentages still apply to you.
Because we're still trying to get, to the bottom of this subject, can we get deep into the services that you offer if somebody comes to you and, require that financial, literature?
Yeah, no, definitely. So I think the first step that I always do with all my clients is that we need to know who you are. Being a financial advisor, it's a long-term relationship with my clients. So we normally would sit down and have what we call a financial needs analysis. Get to understand where you are financially right now. What are the goals that you would like to achieve? What are the liabilities that may be hindering or stopping you from achieving that? And then with all that information, I'm able to analyze it properly to then say, well, we cannot build a house on its roof because that's not the strongest starting point. We need to start with the foundation. So we'd be looking at, okay, risk-wise, if you are earning an income or if you have dependents, what would happen if you're not able to look after them through early death, through early disability or critical illness? And we first covered that avenue. So a lot of South Africans are actually not aware that you can insure your income. Did you know that, Vanessa?
No, we didn't. And I suppose that, did you guys know that?
No, man, it's very interesting. Very interesting to find some of these things out. And I was actually going to ask to Zeli that, for a lot of us, and especially there could be someone listening and watching right now who's barely just starting out in their financial journey, and is feeling perhaps a bit overwhelmed by all of it, all of the responsibility and all of the strategizing and the thinking and the planning that has to go into being a financially smart and literate individual, right? Whether you're an adult who's been working for years or you're a young 20-something-year-old who just started in or just got into the working force, right? I was going to ask, what's the one single most important piece of advice that you would give someone who's just starting out on their financial journey?
I think the simple thing is get yourself a financial advisor. It's free. Standard Bank, Liberty, or whichever company it is, they pay the advisors to take care of you. That's number one. Because if you were to want to, let's say you were to get sick and you need professional help, where would you go first?
The clinic, the doctor, a private GP. Yeah.
Exactly. And a lot of us, when it comes to our finances, we are quick to go to friends, family, uncles. And sometimes I have to say this, free advice can be the most expensive advice because they may be also fighting their own financial battles that they're not telling you. So my first thing is get a financial advisor, number one. Number two, have a goal in mind. You need to have the end goal in mind so that we can work towards something. It's all fine to have a beautiful Lamborghini, but no fuel and no destination to drive to. It's a sitting duck. So those are the things that are very important. And you don't have to have the money, the millions. Start today. I was using an example for one of my clients that I had a chat with earlier this morning was that a simple 25-year-old who decides to put away 300 Rand towards a retirement annuity, by the time they reach 60, which is 35 years from now, they would have over 1.3 million Rand. And that same 25-year-old, if you were to increase that contribution from 3 to 500 Rand, would have over 2.1 million. Now, that's the beauty of compound interest and using financial instruments to get you there. A little a day can go a long way.
I see. But look, man, the world of finance can at times really seem a bit dry, right? And I could argue and also say a bit intimidating. So now, when it comes to approaching or the space being approachable and understandable, how do you make it so for your clients or just for anyone who's listening and watching, and especially when you're talking about complex topics and all these big terms and terminologies like retirement planning or portfolio management and things of that sort, how do you make it so that someone can feel like, okay, this is something that I can approach coach? Is this something I can sit down and have a clear conversation with Mtutuzeli?
I think to simplify it is you kind of have to ask yourself where you are today and where you are the last 5 years. If there's no change, then we really need to start implementing that change. They say the definition of insanity is doing something over and over again, but expecting a different result.
Yeah.
So let's take the troubled times that we come from, being COVID. There was a gentleman that went on to TikTok and decided to challenge himself and say, let me start saving 10 cents a day. And literally his calculation and his formula is what, inspired Standard Bank to want to buy the product, and we created what we call now Standard Bank Stash. So it's a simple app. You don't have to be a Standard Bank, customer. You can get the app on your Play Store or iOS, and you can link it to your bank account and start saving as little as 10 cents a day. And I can tell you, if you start saving 10 cents today, and obviously it's got the compounding effect. So today it's 10 cents, tomorrow it's 20, 30. A year from now, you have 6,680. And I'm pretty sure that didn't break the bank, because you can easily spend a measly 300 Rand on a normal weekend. So it's all about consistency and the habits that you want to create that can help you. And then obviously having somebody to hold you accountable, being your financial advisor, the liberty guy, you see.
Yeah, so Mtutuzeli, we have a caller right now who wants to jump into the conversation and ask you some more questions. Good morning, TC. Good morning, TC. Can you hear me? All right. She is going to call again back in a few seconds, and then of course we will feed. If TC please send a voice note so that you will get answered right now. But to track back, man, you mentioned something that you can insure your money. And I'm like, Aibo, kanjani manje, because I need money to insure some other things. Can you please go deeper, and explain to us how does that work?
Okay. They always say the best advice is given in stories. So I was involved in a car accident in 2023, quite a bad one. And it left me incapacitated, where I was in hospital for a month and recovering at home for another 2 months. So that was 3 months of not being able to work. Now, I, like many other people, if they're not able to be at work, they're not able to earn an income, So there comes a time where you have to ask yourself, if your biggest asset being your ability to earn an income is affected, how many months will you be able to survive and take care of your ongoing expenses like rent, groceries, and the likes? So fortunately, everyone thinks of life cover as the old school term of it's when I die product that will benefit my family. I didn't die in that car accident, but my income protection after 1 month of a waiting period kicked in and paid me my monthly income up until I was able to get back to work. Now, that's a big question that a lot of listeners have to ask themselves. If something were to happen to me and I'm incapacitated to work, how long will my job employ me? And will I still be earning an income to pay for those monthly expenses? And that's where income protection comes in, because it can protect you for temporary disability, which is basically 1 month of injury up to 2 years, or permanent disability, which is from 2 years up until your working life being normally at age 65.
Yeah,
does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. It does, because a lot of people, they always worry about protecting what they have, in terms of insurance feeling like a garage purchase, in their daily life. Because yes, you are talking about protecting your assets and your loved ones, in which it's now bringing us to an actual insurance. Can you please explain to us why is insurance actually a key part of financial freedom?
Well, the thing about insurance is it's like a parachute. When you jump out of a plane, do you need it before or after you've jumped out the plane?
Before.
Before, right? So insurance is, we just don't know when we might have a critical illness that has now hindered our ability to be healthy, to work. We don't know when we will possibly pass away. And if we're leaving behind children, families that depend on us, what are they going to eat? Gone are the days where we only focus on just funeral cover, because there is a limitation to how much funeral cover you can get. And this is where the insurances now come in, because you're paying a small premium for, freedom or peace of mind. You don't want to be now going to the bank and borrowing money that you shouldn't be borrowing because you didn't put that plan in place. Be it your medical aid, be it your life cover, your dread disease, your disability cover. These are events that most likely will happen, but we just don't know when they will happen. And on the day they do happen, you'll thank yourself for having that protection, because there will be covers being paid out. If it's income protection, you'll be getting an income being your net salary. If it's a disability, that's a lump sum payout that you could possibly get. If it's a critical illness, same be it also. So if you didn't have them and these events do occur, the cost is 100% on you, and there's no one to share or leverage it off.
Yeah. Amen. That is interesting. That
Yeah,
is
very.
interesting.
Very.
And it's very interesting, hey, because you see, one of the other things that comes with financial security is basically retirement plan. And I want to know, how can one person plan for a very comfortable retirement plan, and what are the common retirement plan savings options that are actually available?
Okay, so that's a very good question that you asked, and I really do appreciate that you asked it. I used the word retirement in line with a game called Monopoly. I'm pretty sure a lot of us are familiar with playing Monopoly. And if we take it all the way back to the beginning, when you first started playing Monopoly, I'm pretty sure you didn't enjoy playing it because it was a complicated game. Too many rules, this, that. And that's what SARS and taxes basically like. When you don't understand the game, you don't enjoy it. So when it comes to retirement, that is like the one place that the government actually wants you to start taking more note of, because by the time you hit the ages of 60, 65 and you have not put away money for your retirement, you then become a grant candidate going to SASSA, and SASSA is now paying out about 2.2, so 2,200 Rand. That is not enough to take care of your life. It doesn't even pay for 50% of my medical aid, let alone our viewers. So a retirement annuity is the best form of putting away money for your future, okay? And when the government sees that you have a retirement annuity, there are benefits. Number one, you get up to 45% back from your SARS payables. So if we had to play a game and raise our hand to say how many of us made over 10,000 Rand from our SARS returns in the last 3 or 4 months, a lot of people will raise their hands down because they'll be like, I didn't make money. In fact, I owe. And as a personal, your personal advisor, I always say there's 2 ways that can help you earn good money back from SARS. 1, having a medical aid, and 2, contributing to your retirement annuity. Now, if we look at the rules around retirement annuity, they say that you can contribute up to 350,000 per year into your retirement savings. And in a lifetime, you have 550,000 Rand, which is tax-free at retirement. So if you're already looking at what are ways to curb and reduce your taxes, but also look out for your future, a retirement annuity is definitely recommended. Definitely. Companies do offer pension and provident funds, but always remember that the company is not there to make you wealthy. My joke is an acronym for a job is just over broke. They will contribute a minor amount to your retirement based on your gross salary. So normally they would contribute like 6 or 7%, and then you as the employee would contribute 6 or 7%. So let's round it off and say 15% is going into your company provident fund. The problem there is that there's an 85% shortfall that you're not catering to. And all those years that add up, by the time you reach retirement, the money is low because you didn't, subsidize it by having your own retirement annuity, by getting the benefits of that tax deduction. So it's quite a big conversation, but in layman's terms, start today by getting a retirement annuity. It will save you from tax. Well, number one, it will give you money back on a yearly basis, and it will protect your future.
Very interesting.
Quite
now,
well.
let us head over to social media because there are some questions as our caller couldn't get through. So one of the questions is from Hector Takalane saying, can a financial advisor fight tax to be lower? Because the tax is on another level.
So your financial advisor can assist you with methods in reducing your taxes. Remember, there's a tax practitioner and then there's your financial advisor. So I don't want to give, this is not tax advice, but this is giving you advice on what are the instruments that can help you with reducing your taxes. So retirement annuity is one of them. Having a tax-free savings account also is very important because in your lifetime, you can also get 500,000 Rand in that you can accumulate within your tax-free savings account. Obviously, there's a cap of 36,000 a year that you can contribute, but those two methods of having a retirement annuity, having a tax-free savings account, you're already making a savings of $1,050,000 that you could generate over that period. So definitely highly recommend that. But also speak to a tax advisor around methods to reduce your taxes. Maybe you're running a business and you're not necessarily offsetting a lot of your tax write-offs. Or maybe on a personal capacity, you don't have those two products, medical aid or retirement annuity, that can also help with your taxes. So it's a big thing to look at.
Yeah, thank you so much. I hope that Hector is answered with that question. And then TC comes and say, given that household savings are in negative territory as we are looking now, negative 1.2% of Q1 in 2025, what strategies can you suggest to shift the mindset from reactive survival to proactive financial resilience?
That's a very good question, TC. Quite technical. I think in layman's terms for our viewers to explain it is that I would suggest he goes and prints out 3 months of his bank statements, all right, and have 3 colors highlighters on the side. The first color being a green one will be highlighting all his needs. So these are the rent, this is the bond, if there's a bond, car repayments, things that he cannot live without, okay? Then the second color, he must take an orange highlighter and start highlighting all his savings and investments. And then the third color is a red highlighter and start highlighting all your wants. Immediately when you look at the 3 bank statements, the predominant color should be between green and orange. If we have a lot of red, then we need to do a lifestyle audit. We need to start doing adjustments around what is really, eating at our discretionary money, takeaways, data when there's Wi-Fi areas, looking at, what are you paying for that you haven't really looked at? Another client of mine, when we're looking at his debit orders, we did a debit check to go and see what else is being taken from his money that he's not aware of. And there were 3 or 4 other policies taking a total of about 1.5. And that eats away at your money also. So folks need to be aware of what is happening in our accounts, what is happening in our household. And it all goes back to that tracking. You could use an app, you could use pen and paper if you're the old school, but that's very important. Grant Cardone, a famous American multi-millionaire, says every morning when he wakes up, he goes and checks his bank balance. If you try and take 2 cents from him, he'll know because yesterday and today he didn't do any transactions that needed that 2 cents to be missing. So if a multi-millionaire in dollars can do that, we surely can implement that as Mzansi.
Yeah, hope that answers TC's question. And then last question from Kiyama Shao say, question from Tutuzele, which is better, an RA or pension fund? Is a scheme better than an individual savings plan?
Hey, yay. And I had a feeling that this question was going to pop up. Look, I'm going to say it like this. You should be very fortunate that you work in an institution that offers you group benefits such as a pension and a provident fund. But let's think about it realistically. Whatever institution that you're working for has other employees. Let's use a number as 1,000 employees. And those 1,000 employees are at different stages of their life. We have ones that have just started the workforce, so the ages of 20, 21, 22. We have the 35-year-olds, and we have the ones that are approaching retirement. Now, when the company puts together a scheme, they are doing this for 2 reasons. 1, they get a tax write-off. And 2, it's also good for you as an employee because you're getting benefits. So when they put the schemes together, at times it's more of a general look on a balanced fund because they're not trying to be too aggressive with the employees that are about to retire, nor are they trying to be, very nonchalant with the ones that are entering the market. And I think I need to ask you, in retirement, when you are young, you want to be as aggressive and grow your funds as great and good as possible. But if you're in that group scheme, at times you're not offered that ability to adjust. So this is where your retirement annuities, helps aid that pension or provident fund that you have at work. Because I told you the company is only going to contribute a percentage of your gross income. 7%, you 7%, or 15% is the contribution. That 85% is where now your retirement annuity comes and bridges the gap. I think we need to think about it realistically that for every R1,000,000 that you do have in retirement, that's supposed to buy you an income. That's about just over $5,000 that it's going to pay you, 5,000 Rand. So I now need you to think of the current income you're earning now. How many millions do you think you need to have in order to pay you the income that you're earning now? And bear in mind, the income you're earning now is not already making millionaires, driving the Bentleys and the whatevers. It's more about the quality of life. So to answer your question, you need them both. One is a great benefit from work. The other one is bridging the gap, closing the shortfall, and helping you with your personal benefits like reduced on tax and giving you that 550 tax-free savings in that lifetime spread. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah. Yeah, no, completely, man. It's a very interesting conversation. And I think it's an never-ending conversation because a whole lot of us in society, even the ones who think or who might even perhaps be, slightly a bit more informed and knowledgeable about financial literacy, we always consistently and continuously, at least I think so, are always in need of financial advice and just always equipping ourselves with what's happening and the current trends and the changes in financial literacy and the financial space. So with that being said, more often than not, insurance often gets overlooked, right, in the conversations regarding finances. So now, how do you, as Umtutuzeli, reframe it as a tool for empowerment rather than just a safety net? Because I think more when we talk insurance, we think, I just want to be insured. My car has to be insured. The house has to be insured and whatever else. As a safety net, as a backfall of some sort. But how do we reframe it and change it to become a tool for empowerment?
Now, that is a good question. And I think the word that comes boldly to me and in mind is leverage. You know what? Insurance allows you to leverage. Now, let's be specific on what type of insurance so that I can, help guide you in this scenario. So let's use, life cover. All right. Okay. As an example. Now, life cover, we know it as in the event I should die, it will pay out a death benefit to my family tax-free, okay? But you don't have to die in order to use your life cover to your benefit. For example, those who want to buy a property, okay? You will go to any of the traditional banks, but we want you to come to Standard Bank, but you'll go to any of the banks to get a bond. Let's say you want a bond of 1 million Rand, okay? The bank will say, we've done your feasibility, you've looked at your credit checks, we are able to approve you on a bond, but we need to make sure in that 240 months, also known as 20 years, that we're going to be financing you, should anything happen being you die, all right, or be disabled, we need to make sure that we're still going to get our funds. So your life cover can be converted into what we call bond cover, to give liability for that cover over the period that you'll be financing the property for. Now, it's important to know that the best time to get life cover is when you're younger, so yesterday. So that's where you want to be able to use it for leveraging. Another example, which is a very sensitive topic, is around wills and estate planning. A lot of people don't have wills. A lot of people don't have their last words written down somewhere. It's always an assumption that, they'll take care of it. But people don't know that your life cover forms liquidity for your estate. Now, what am I speaking about when I speak about liquidity? When people die, they pay a death tax. It's called estate duty. So when you're living, you pay tax. It's called pay as you earn. You'll see it on your pay slip. But when you die, you pay death tax. It's called estate duty. Now, what generally makes up estate duty is, one, your liability. So the debts that you have, so the credit card, the bond, the car, all of that. That's your liabilities. And also what we call executive fees. Executive fees is someone who's been nominated to go and wind down your estate, and they get paid 3.5% of your total gross estate. And if they VAT registered, it will be 4.025%. So that those things I've just put together are what we call your estate duty, your fees. And instead of leaving your family with a bill, having life cover that helps with having money in your estate forms liquidity so you can leave your family with a will. So we're not leaving them with a bill, we're leaving them with a will. Because if those fees are not paid for, what ends up happening is the family home gets sold, the cars get sold, savings get sold. So all these things are what you don't have access to if you're not using the word leverage being insurance. Now, I hope in other events or in our other segments that we can talk more and dig deeper into it, because the topic of financial literacy wasn't built in a day. It's like we need to unpack it as we go along.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, man. Thank you so much. Very, very interesting. And like you say, I don't think it's a matter of not being aware of the conversation or the topic of financial literacy, right? But I think most of us, it's a thing of ignorance more than anything else. Even if you are an adult, it matters not where you are in your journey in the workforce, whether you're starting out or, like you mentioned, you are in your mid-30s, or you're someone who's been putting in the work for a number of years. I think we always have to be informed as much as we can and go back and do our research. We take for granted things like that. I'll take care of that will, or I'll take care of my estate planning. Or, I remember the last time when it was a Wednesday or a Tuesday rather, and we were talking about what happens to your digital world when you pass on. It's things of that sort. So thank you so much, Mtutuzel. We really appreciate you jumping on.
Yeah, and we see that we have covered, things that include protecting what you have and, of course, looking ahead, because retirement investment, they're very important part of your journey. But now we know that there are always myths and misconceptions that people hear out there, right? So according to you, what's one myth about money management or investing that you hear all the time, and how do you set the record straight? Okay.
I see.
Yeah,
I see.
Yeah.
So let's take it a bit light, because we've been talking about very, very serious things, right? Just to be light and a bit more relatable, I think, in my view. So I have to ask, with all the financial knowledge and information and expertise that you've gathered over the years, what do you think is the one thing that you're most likely to splurge on? I mean, especially with what you just mentioned, that people tend to think, you're not in the tax bracket of having these kinds of conversations. So what's the one thing that you personally splurge on? And in the same breath, what's a small financial habit that you're proud of, something that saves you money in a very surprising way?
Okay, so let's start off with the habit. I love traveling. I've been to over 50 different countries and seen over 60 different cities. So for me, my splurge or my vice is definitely traveling. I believe that, guys, if you're able to put the plan and the budget in place, every 90 days, do a young short left somewhere. Even if you're going parties or corner somewhere, getting out of your little city or getting out of your little environment, it grows the mindset. It helps you to see that there's more out there. You know, things are not that bad in Mzansi if you haven't left the country yet, you know, so you need to really travel. Go out there and see that, South Africa is actually a first world country. You know, so that's the big thing for me.
Yeah.
The habits that I've taken from my learnings and my teachings, it's literally about investing. I stopped necessarily putting in a simple check account or a 32-day account because now that I know how investments work, I felt and I saw very quickly that simple interest is not the way of life. I would like to achieve goals in life, you know, get that plot, you know, live on, you know, everything green and free. But you need to do that on investing. You know, you need to do that. Saving is not necessarily the method anymore. It's now investing. So I switched where I put my money in platforms like In8, Stanlib, you know, Evolve. These are products that we offer at Liberty and Standard Bank that literally showed me a great change. I wouldn't have gotten married in the last year or had a son born this year if I didn't make that financial switch. So for me, it is a game changer. I speak to clients knowing that what I tell them every day is what I've implemented in my life 5 years ago. It's not going to happen overnight. It's going to happen gradually, and you're going to get there. So yeah, traveling and that is definitely my go-to. Yeah.
That's
Very
amazing. Hey, you're practicing what you're preaching. It's pretty amazing to actually see you practicing what you're preaching, right? So just before we even end things over, I just want to know one thing. How do current market trends and economic conditions affect financial planning and investment decisions?
So generally what we always say to all our clients is that what we're going to start now is not going to be cemented because, like you just said, there's market conditions, there's changes, there's also life stages. So generally with our clients, when we sit down with them, we first get to understand what is their risk appetite. We generally have about 5 types of risk categories. We have a conservative investor. We have what we call a moderately conservative investor, moderate investor, moderately aggressive and aggressive investor. So from that 5 profiles, we are able to determine, okay, where do you fall also in line with how long do you want to invest? Someone who wants to put away money quickly and get it, let's say, within under a year, we're not going to want to put them in aggressive funds because aggressive funds in the beginning are not looking at high returns, but they're looking at returns over a long period. So a lot of people always ask me, when's the best time to get into the market? And I always say the wording is, it's time spent in the market to give you the best results that you want. So if we use like, you know, Donald Trump with the tariffs, you know, with the wars that's been happening, those do have effects on the market. But the way in how you put your investment or your strategy together, it will have to factor those kind of things in. But we look at capital preservation so that we're not looking at high risk, high reward or losses. We're trying to make sure that there's a balance and everything is adjustable according to market conditions. So everything is flexible, and that's where your annual reviews come into play. You don't want to start something now and only look at it 10 years from now. Every year we will do an annual review to make sure that we're in line with your needs, your goals, and it's market related.
Ah, wonderful and powerful. And as mentioned, that you know what, we would love to continue this conversation, but because of time, we can't. And we would love, to also have maybe another session with you to teach people, because as you mentioned, that this subject is vast, and personal wellness is what we care about in our show. But in closing, because we had a topic right here, we just want to hear your sentiments. We were talking about lobola negotiations. So does one need, a financial advisor way before they pay lobola, to get advice, or can you represent a client on the lobola negotiations?
Hey, you see now, my brother, we're stepping into traditional methods here. Abu Manime won't be happy if I'm busy saying that, yes, Mr. Advisor must be there. Look, we can be in the background when it comes to the pre-planning, Abu Vulamlo more gathering the staff. That needs money. So, when you decide to get married, I always say it's a 2 to 3 year plan before you actually drop the bomb. So, there we definitely enter. I have a lot of clients in that speak about this. When we speak about financial goals, I say, hey, if you're getting married, already we need to have money put aside. That money must be growing outside of your bank account. Out of sight, out of mind, let it grow comfortably. You understand?
Yeah.
And then you also want to be able to start engaging with what are the ideal costs that we're going to be dealing with. Like I mentioned, Abu Vulamlo more, the ceremony itself. Are you going to have one at Umkwenya and the other one at the bride? Are you going to have a white wedding? All of that is financial planning. All of that has goals and targets. You're able to put away good lump sums to pay deposits and possibly even get discounts. So my opinion is, yes, you can involve your financial advisor, not on the negotiating side, but on the planning side of where the finances are going to be needed best. I think that answers your question.
It does completely. And I love how you say that it should be a 2 to 3 year plan, right? Considering all of the things that custom and tradition brings into play when the process of getting married, is about to start. So I love that so much. I personally think that's very good advice.
Yes. So in terms,
and just another thing, guys, always be careful when it comes to weddings. I'm speaking from experience that I used savings, which I planned for to have this happen, but your family also helps you out. I don't want you to think that you're an island. No. Yeah, your family will also assist you and help you. Try not to use bad debt to have this one day spectacular, bonanza, because everyone will eat, everyone will drink, and later on they will leave you with those problems that will be sitting with you for the next year or two, which also could affect the marriage. So live within your means. If now is about union, do the union, and the celebration then can happen when the funds are there, but don't go break the bank unnecessarily.
Yeah, man.
Just for that 12 hours or 6 hours of munat.
Shy step, Kaluprenda fast. Yeah, completely, man. So, in closing, someone has been watching, has been listening, but is very interested in getting in contact with you. So how do we go about that? Whether phone numbers, emails, social media, websites, all of those kinds of things. Talk to me.
All right, no problem. Firstly, my offices are based out in the Eastgate Shopping Center. We're in the Liberty Office Towers on the 4th floor. My contact number is 061 629 7101. I am also on Instagram at M22 Talks. That's M22 Talks, TALKS, as well as on TikTok under the Liberty Guy. And email address tutuzeli.kweta, my surname GQWETA @liblink.co.za.
I love that.
Wonderful.
Thank you so much.
Yep.
No, thank you. It was
very
engaging, very informative, very knowledge-giving, and looking forward to the next time we have an engagement. And hopefully, fingers crossed, God willing, it will be an in-person this time, and you can maybe perhaps come through to studio, so that we can have a proper engagement and a sit-down and unpack a bit more about all of these contributing factors and variables when it comes to the conversation and the topic of of personal finances and just financial literacy in general. So thank you so much. We appreciate, man.
Not a problem. I do promise it will be in person on the next visit, and I'll come with the little few Liberty goodies for you and your first two listeners.
Yeah, thank you. We look forward to it. I can't wait. Because we right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show, we're all about giving as much information and knowledge and breaking misconceptions and debunking all of this misinformation that's out there in the general society. So thank you, and we hope that you'll enjoy the rest of your day.
Absolute pleasure, guys. Thank you for having me in the show. And to your listeners, thank you for your time. Have a wonderful day.
Yeah, there you have it right there. Tutuzeli Toeta. And of course, when you speak about financial wellness, there you have it, Mzansi. So go out there and make your money moves account, whether it's savings, investing, or just avoiding that unnecessary expense. Will keep bringing you the conversation that matter right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show. So please do make sure that you stay with us, as the conversation is going to continue after this short break. So please don't go anywhere. 29 minutes till we hit 10 o'clock, and you're still chilling with us right here. I hope that you're still having that Wellness Tuesday, and you're watching, of course, your favorite breakfast show, which is the Vooka Breakfast Show, man. That is accompanied by that daily dose of positivity. All of the conversations that we have here, we have them so that they can help you in the future or in the now. I know some of you may be going through some of the struggles, but don't worry, we've got you covered with those conversations. With that being said, some of the people, they came into the comment section and you flooded the comment section and were like, hey guys, I have my own sentiments in terms of the topic that you spoke about. So let me just go back and revisit some of those comments
Yes,
right
sir.
there in the comment section, right? And then Hector came through and say, good morning, Vooka Nation. Good morning, Hector. It's been a minute.
Oh, wow, man. Yeah, TK, welcome back, my brother.
Yeah. And then he said, marrying now.
Marriage nowadays
it's a business,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And of course, man, when we talk about business, we talk about money. And then TC said colonial authorities such as Theophilus Shepstone regulated ilobola, fixing the amount to certain aspects of the tradition, reducing the custom to a transactional exchange.
Yeah, man.
Right? Hector says, in the olden days, marriage was a form of joining two families and a happy one. Now it's the highest price to marry. Mami came through saying, good morning, Vooka Nation. Good morning to you. I hope that you're having a wonderful Tuesday morning. And then, TC asked for those, okay. Yeah, anyway, traditionally and legal, is it essential customary marriage element? The law stating that under RCMA is valid on agreement and doesn't require the payment. Ooh, yeah, ne? And then Hector came through saying, oh yes, Averyberry, hence I say let's test drive the car first. What if you buy the car, but the driver is horrible? I mean, it's
The drive.
Yeah.
The driver's horrible.
Or the drive is
Yeah.
horrible. Yeah, but it's about cars, guys. Don't worry. It's not about human beings. Right? Kidikoloi. Buy a fresh car out there. Spin City saying, welcome back, Maximama. Good morning, crew. Musi, I see you. Looking good.
I see you, my brother. I see you seeing me seeing you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Come on, man.
And then Simami came through again saying, nah, personally, I think we can turn this around because ke kgona go bolella my family how far my partner can go, because at the end of it, ke tsamaya le yena and he still needs to take care of me. Yes, man. Bo malume ba tla ba 100,000. The next thing, they are nowhere to be found. When you need advices, in the marriage.
Yeah,
they are
and
nowhere to be found.
like Mthutuzeli said, gore, these financial difficulties that you could face or possibly could face after the wedding day could ultimately have an effect on your marriage.
Yeah.
Because like everybody said, you have to start planning for your life as a married couple. One understand. Family planning, wanting to have kids, taking them to school, investments, all of those things that you guys would want to do to build your lives together as a couple. Now, suddenly financial constraints, and it's taking a toll on the marriage. So I get that, man. Absolutely.
So let's plan, guys. Let's plan. We don't know what tomorrow holds because we are living in the information age, man. So much information is being shared everywhere. So you can learn a thing or two, and research before you make that huge decision about your life, right? And TC came and said, thank you for answering my first question, Mthutuzeli. FYI, I'm a fully fledged woman. There you go. Mrs. Fully Fledged, we see you. We see you. And then Priscilla came and said, morning, Sivugile. Very good morning.
Hello,
to you,
Priscilla. She's been missing for a couple of days. Yeah.
Man,
good to see her back. Yeah, definitely.
Good to see you. And I hope that you're having a wonderful Tuesday morning. With that being said, you know that each and every day we give you what we call your daily bread, which is today in history. Some of the significant things that happened in history and that you did not know they happened. Don't worry, we have you and we've got you covered. So if you have anything to share with us, please do so by commenting down on our comment section by using the hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show. So let's get straight into it. So today right here, I have what they call the Morris Mini Miner. Right, in 1959, this day, the Morris Mini Miner was built by the British Motor Corporation as a response to the fuel shortages caused by the Suez Canal crisis and launched worldwide in 1959. Its impact form was designed to give as much room for passengers and luggage as possible. The Mini proved to be tremendously popular, and 5.3 million was sold worldwide before production ceased of the model in 2000. And one of the people who made this car famous is Rowan Atkinson, known as Mr. Bean.
Oh yeah, Mr. Bean.
Yeah, people asked a lot of questions because they advertised that car in so many ways, where he would fit in bags, drive it on top of it, stulo, and people are like, wow, this is an awesome car. I should check it out, right?
Nah.
Yeah. And then on the second one, in terms of what happened today in history, today South African Defence Force troops attack a People's Liberation Army of Namibia at Omugulungwambashi, the first battle of the 22-year-old Namibian War of Independence. Right, so Germany ruled Namibia in the late 1800s. In World War I, South Africa took control. After the war, South Africa was meant to govern temporarily, but instead treated Namibia as its own and didn't help it to become independent. Right. And then the last one that we have right here, the Women Strike for Equality took place this day. The Women's Strike for Equality in the U.S. was a nationwide demonstration for women's rights held on August 26, 1970, the 50th anniversary of women's suffrage. It was described by the Time magazine as the first big demonstration of the women's liberation movement. The leadership called the object of the rallies the unfinished business of equality. There you go. That's what we have for you in terms of history. I know Mr. Villagazi or Mr. Ngema or Ropile, but don't worry, we've got you covered. If you want history lessons each and every day, we've got you covered.
Yes, sir, man. And of course, you know that on a day-to-day basis, we always give you the number of days. And I've always, or not always perhaps, but in the last couple of weeks, I've been looking for it. And Moketi says, I need to go to Sanka. I'm kidding, man. But we need, we give you the number of days. And today is the 238th day. And it would be the 239th day if it were a leap year, right? And that also marks that there are 127 days left, with 17 weeks remaining until the end of the year, man. And then on a day-to-day basis, there are always people who are celebrating their birthdays, right? And one of them being Macaulay Culkin. How you would know or perhaps remember Macaulay Culkin if you're someone like myself and TC who enjoys movies quite a lot. He's the little boy who was in Home Alone, the 3-series movie.
Yeah.
Home Alone. I remember I used to love Home Alone when I was young, man.
Oh, man,
Proper.
I used to.
Yeah, you also used to love Home
the
Alone.
CD I would play each and every
other weekend.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah. He is a former child star and famous for his role as Kevin McAllister in Home Alone. And, he was born on this day, the 26th of August in 1980, turning 45 years old today. And then, right after that, we are also celebrating KK Palmer's birthday. A full name being Lauren Kayana Keke.
Kiki. Kiki. Sing
KK Palmer is an American actress, singer, and television personality. She has received numerous accolades, including 2 Prime Emmy Awards and nominations for a Daytime Emmy Award and a Screen Actors Guild Award. Born on this day and is turning 32 years. Really? Kill 93. Wow, that's very interesting. And then I'm assuming, let me try to get that for you.
Yeah, the last one.
The last birthday is Mother Teresa. Was born on this day. So Mother Teresa is a Virgo. I mean, this proves what Virgos are. Come on, man. Wow. Virgo babies are up, man. Mother Teresa was born on this day, and her full name was Agnes Gonqa Pachaku. Hey, Mother Teresa. Mother Teresa came close and I little bit. But anyway, she was born on this day in 1910. This is 8 years before Nelson Mandela. Yeah, very interesting. In Skopje, which was then part of Ottoman Empire, now Northern Macedonia. She was the youngest of 3 children in a devoutly Catholic family. At the age of 18, she left her home to join the Sisters of Loreto, an Irish community of nuns, and moved to India, where she began her missionary work. Very, very interesting. But she unfortunately passed on the 5th of September in 1997, a day before my birthday.
Really?
Oh, yeah. So that's interesting that she was born as a Virgo and passed on on a Virgo day in the Virgo season on the 5th of September, man. So man, and very, very, very interesting stuff. So you're perhaps wondering what the word we're going to give you today is. And all of these words that we give you on a day-to-day basis are aimed at both, improving yours and our day-to-day spoken languages, and of course, ultimately, our vocabularies. And today is no exception whatsoever, as is the 26th of August, 2025, a Tuesday morning. The word for today is parasology. Parasology.
Parasology.
Yes. This word is a noun. And how you can spell this word is as follows. Let me try to get that for you very quickly.
Okay, so before you continue, let me just read out what TC just wrote here.
Sure.
Upale South African celebrity birthdays, which the guys forgot to include again. So celebrities born on the 26th of August, sorry, my bad. We have Charlotte Copley. She was born in 1973, actor and producer known for roles in films like District 9, Asylum, and we also have Minnie Dlamini. It's also her birthday today. She's a television presenter, actress, and a model.
Yeah,
Very,
so these
very
are South
interesting
African.
stuff. South African birthdays. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So the word of today, as I said, is perisology, and how you can spell this word is as follows. That's PERISSOLOGY. That's PERISSOLOGY. The definition or the meaning of the word perisology is as follows. The use of more words than necessary. Excessive or redundant speech.
Okay.
The use of more words than necessary. Excessive or redundant speech.
The use of more words.
Yes.
Okay.
Right? And how you can use this word in a sentence is as follows. Her speech was riddled with perisology. Each point buried beneath layers of repetition. Her speech was riddled with perisology. Each point buried beneath layers of repetition. And similar words include redundancy, verbosity, pleonasm, wordiness, and superfluity. Talk to me, Mr. Mo. You haven't used. Come on, man.
Mo, you're not the only one, because I'm also listening to like the similar words. Ne? What about Tomamudi Musi dictionary? Because like I'm waiting for nice and simple words that are like similar. No, man. Even the simple words are just getting me very lost.
I mean, the use of more words
than necessary, right?
Is it more or likely to bloviate? Because you're using more words in here, and
you're being redundant.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So talk to me. How would you use it in a sentence?
You were saying.
If you're a politician.
Yeah.
That's true.
You would execute or exhibit perisology.
Yeah.
Come on, Mr. B. I see you, man. Yes, sir.
Even as a pastor.
They always exaggerate the hallelujah.
You could exhibit perisology.
Yeah,
I see you. So Ngwanagohai, talk to us. How would you use this word in a sentence? Perisology. This is the use of more words than necessary, an excessive or redundant speech. Would love to hear from you. Jump on into our comment section using the hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show. So that's Vooka Breakfast Show on Facebook and all other social media platforms. You know that it needs not end there. It continues on our WhatsApp line by dialing the number 060-493-3226. So that's 060-493-3226. And TC is jumping onto our comment section on YouTube saying, oh, and Herman Mashaba is his birthday today. Interesting to find out that he's a Virgo as well. And then TC comes back. He says, use your words wisely to avoid perisology. Come on, TC.
Thank you, TC.
Okay, I see you. That's cool.
Yes, man.
That's
so just
cool.
before we even shut everything off, we still have inventions and national or international days. So when it comes to inventions, we're actually celebrating an invention that was made in South Africa, and this is stem cell technology. Now, in 2012, researchers at Gauteng's Council for Scientific and Industrial Research became the first in Africa to develop induced potent stem cells, groundbreaking biomedical technology that allows adult cells like skin cells to be reprogrammed into stem cells. These versatile cells can be transformed into any type of tissue, such as heart, brain, or blood cells, offering immense potential for regenerative medicine and disease modeling. This invention positions South Africa at the forefront of global stem cell research, with promoting applications for treating conditions like Parkinson's, heart disease, and anemia. And then right now, moving on to our national or international dates, right? So today we are celebrating World Photography Photography Day. Extra, this one is for you, my guy. So World Photography Day is celebrated annually. Okay, so this one is guys. Okay, you know what? I move on.
Hey, boo.
It's written the August the 19th. Today is not the 19th. It's the 26th.
What are you reading?
I am reading this one, my bro.
So today is National Photography. Didn't we have National Photography Day?
We had it already. Okay, you know what?
Yeah.
National Picture Day.
National
see you.
Picture Day. But yeah, man, very interesting things. Post someone
Catch 'em
that
tender.
you
Also,
like.
get some
Choose my
tie-dye.
cat-
Otherwise,
choose my
it is a
cat.
Tuesday, man.
Mo, you haven't told me in a while who you. Because on to say again. Ukhethabani namhlanje.
Ketabani.
Yes, who are you choosing, my brother? Talk to me.
Hey man, I take time to choose people.
Okay.
Because I know a lot of people and I have a lot of people in my life. So I
Like
have to
a baby that
yeah,
might
I'm boring
perhaps-
to choose.
or maybe one anyano or say tingayeni.
Oh yeah.
You kill me. You kill
Come on,
me. You
that
kill
Mo
me.
cook, Mo cook.
I mean, it's not wrong, to choose someone else's child, and you choose them
Yes.
as yours. That's because you love them and you would love to show them.
Also, you have a child, but he's not yours.
She's not my child. man.
Okay.
Biologically, so
Yeah,
to speak.
she's my friend's child.
Or the friend that you kiss. I get yesterday you said when you
I
smooch.
do. Yeah, I mean,
you
on
smooch your
bad
friends.
times, I do kiss her because I get she needs that time. She needs that
Wait, what?
moment of healing.
And then you start kissing her.
Yo,
Yeah. You don't kiss
heal
your
from
male
a
friends.
smooch.
You don't kiss your male friends.
Not for healing. I have a male friend that I'm dating that I would kiss, but I don't just generally kiss any male
It's
friend.
not general kissing. I get you going through something.
Okay,
and then
wait,
you
it
see your male
depends. What
friend.
type of kiss is it? Is it a baby kiss or you?
It's a smoosh.
Ooh, child.
Pela, it depends on how big your problem are. Remember, if we are goa sisi, like that means it's
You
a
gonna
smoosh.
smooch it away.
Yeah, I get it leads to you. The deeper the problem, the deeper the keys, the deeper the healing. You understand? That's why we have National Kiss Day, guys. Can't these things you don't follow?
MMS is starting, yeah, boy.
You must
guys,
execute. You must take cognizance of these days, Chief,
Gotcha.
and practicalize them and put them into action. So that's why you kiss your friends.
I can't go around show you how I kiss my female friends
Yes.
because now I'll be exposing my tatabon.
Okay.
So yeah, I have to keep it to myself or no. I kiss in certain times when somebody's going through a certain thing. You understand?
see.
So yeah, guys, we must share kisses. If you have a male friend or a female friend out there, kiss them to show them that you love them and you're a friend. You'll always be there for them, right?
I don't know if anyone would agree with that, but anyway,
I am disagreeing.
TC saying that's why I'm not verbose.
Yeah.
And this is tying it to the word of the day being parasology. And then she comes back and she says today is actually National Toilet Paper Day.
Wow.
I don't know how true that is. We'll fact check very quickly.
National Toilet
TC, I
Paper
go tshepe
Day.
wena monna. Like, go tshepe so monna.
But why are we celebrating the toilet paper?
Imagine.
Remember in 2020 when people went into a panic
COVID.
frenzy just
Yeah.
before lockdown.
Yeah.
Come March, you remember? Barakadi toilet paper, in 20 tissue sets if guys. Okay, we're going into lockdown. So why are you buying like
I think maybe they thought that COVID came with like diarrhea, maybe in a way. Hence, a whole lot of people stacked up on toilet paper.
Yeah.
And then TK says, word of the day. Marcelo Perisology himself at times to explain. So I'm guessing he's saying that Marcelo uses or exhibits or executes Perisology whenever he's
Bohosi.
yes. Whenever he explains himself, so he's a blatherskite, a blatteroon. he exhibits vacuousness.
I can kind of attest to that because I remember when we were at the 250 on Sidar. Yeah, when we were talking to Bukhosi, like he had a whole lot of explaining. I was like, okay, what's going on? You could have just said hi and then we moved on. But dictionary, I was like, okay, let me just evaporate very fast.
Yeah.
Man. TC coming back saying, and National Dog Day. Shout out to Amatota Wayne.
Yo.
Hey, comment. But anyway, and then she says, guys, I love dogs, Mina. I am a dog lover. And then TK says, Connie, today she's on fire.
Ferguson.
Ferguson.
Connie is on fire. But yeah, keep those comments coming. Another
through,
thing. Yeah.
But
we see
TK samba gopola gore leina la TC ke Connie.
from now on, we can meet her as Connie.
Who's Connie?
But yeah, 8 minutes till we hit the 10 o'clock. And something that I want to highlight, and that is happening, of course, on our social media, is that our influencers are caught in the spotlight right now. In terms of the rising concerns over Russian recruitment schemes, the South African government has issued urgent warnings to young women, particularly those aged 18 to 22 years, about a suspicious job offers circulating on social media. These offers, promoted by prominent influencers, promise work in hospitality, construction, and language training in Russia, but may lead to exploitative or even trafficked condition. And this comes back to the high unemployment rate crisis that we have in our country, right? So influencers like Bo Cyan Bougie, Ghost Luby, Sima, and Zilewizi have publicly promoted the so-called Alabuga Start program based in Russia. They highlighted closing narrative flights, housing, language classes, but have since removed their posts amid the widespread concern. So the alleged trafficking and human rights violation investigations reveal that many recruited women end up coerced into working in drone factories within Russia and Alabuga Special Economic Zone. So our influencers are just put into this so that they can make it look like it's something that is
Genuine.
real.
Yeah.
They even went there. And then some of them they explained, because I have a video that I want to play, of one of the social media influencers in South Africa, asking questions for obviously girls who do not know what is going on that side. So I will play this clip shortly and then hear some of the questions that she asked. So let us do this quickly.
Maybe I have friends who are
in younger age.
yes, but then also there are people who are maybe slightly above 22. Like for example, I'm turning 23 this year, but you would find maybe I have friends who are my age, maybe 23, and they would love to be on the program, but then now they're not allowed to be on the program because you're limited to the age of 22. So there's no exceptions that can be made ever.
We're doing some exceptions, but they are done only individually. That's real.
Yes, sorry to interject, but are you looking into maybe also growing young adults, because there's a lot of women that don't get the opportunity to go to school, or they don't even have resources to know about these kind of information. And now maybe I'm 30 and I'm looking at a video of someone educating me about the program. Do you guys or are you guys thinking of maybe extending this thing, including also those people, because there's many 30-year-olds that are unemployed that are
willing.
30 years old.
Yes, also like in South Africa, I don't think there are 18 to 22-year-olds that are desperate enough to actually come all the way to Russia to work at a start program in hospitality and all of this, because they're still young and they're exploring life. And also South Africa also offers resources for them to still go to tertiary and job opportunities that are that side also, and they're still very young also to decide to leave the country to come and work in another place, whereas someone who's older, maybe 25, 26, 27 would be willing, because they're an adult and they know what's at stake, and they're willing to actually go out of their way to go and learn a new skill and have employment in a different country. So are you guys also thinking
Heartburn is caused by
a lot of people are asking.
Wait. Maybe can I look on the what's happening? What's the thing here? What are we talking about?
Because this program now, when some of these influencers were coming on social media telling people about them, people couldn't get it. What am I going there for? Because those are the questions that were asked. Okay, there is a start program in Russia. What is it for?
So you're recruited as a young girl.
As a young girl, and they only want girls.
Okay. And then your expenses are paid for from flights, travel
flights,
expenses, food, whatever else. Okay, but it's not known what the job is going to require.
Exactly. So
you
basically,
are offered accommodation, Some they say, okay, we are offering you this program, and then after some few months, you're going to get employment right there in Russia, right? So this thing. Influencers were told to package it nicely so that the girls, of course, they started in East African countries, right? And then they went down. Now they're looking for girls in South Africa because I think they're targeting, countries that have a high unemployment rate because people are desperate for,
I see.
Going there for free, free flights, free accommodation. No one is willing to say and back down and say no, right? But now, our social media influencers, they flooded social media by posting some of those videos, telling people to come to Russia and get opportunities that are available out there. And then when they had that, Interpol is investigating some of those factories and that program, all of the videos were removed. And now
videos by social media
influencers.
Now you are telling me about a job. I apply, I go there. You hear the investigation, then now you don't know anything at all. You even apologizing to South Africans, but now I'm already there. 200 girls are already in Russia right now.
Mama South Africa?
Yeah, 200. And it has been alleged it is a human trafficking.
No, man, it sounds like it. It's giving sus, my guy. It's suspicious. Man.
Yeah. Right, TC saying not both Cyan coming back with Shuti Suri at ending it there. Bring back our girls, Lona. Hashtag bring back our girls must trend again. I mean, it's something that guys on social media were like, when something happens, I mean, people were saying, hey, when McG said this, Kamini. But now, 200 girls are lost. No one is even saying anything.
And it's so weird, the fact that they're looking for influencers to go to Russia and obviously promote whatever they're promoting. Yet, Abo Sayani go and come back. Why don't those girls also go and come back? What's the whole point of them going and staying there and then Abo Sayan like it's very dodge. And then you also look at the age frame of it. So they're basically looking for girls who are still experiencing life, still teaching themselves how to network life and society in its whole. That's why the age gap does not even arrive to 24. 24, baba saying vugile ngila. Setsekela itile 30. The influencers who are like 30, 35, they're not even approaching them because ba itse re motho o laitile. Ba batla motho le gore le bone la ga santsa ni le diminyana.
I mean, we know influencers, they don't do research. Because now you've got big numbers when whatever that you say, people will trust you. They will buy without even asking questions. So that is what they saw in these South African influencers. But now it puts more risk for Bona and the brands that they're working with to say, like you are willing to do anything, even like sell Banababato out there. Right? So, I mean, remember, we had a conversation, the Hawks.
Captain Libit and warrant officer Tony Abrahams. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So they have to handle them, and if it is really 200 girls, those girls they have to come back in the country
completely more,
right? Completely. Because we have seen this program and people have shouted names and they have stated some of the names. Or no, man, guys, this is how it works. Other people were also approached and they thought, no, man, it looks proper. And they include their family members. Imagine the whole of, girls in the family aged 18 to 22.
But unfortunately, that's how the world of human trafficking works. In order for you to actually even get trafficked most of the time, it is done by somebody you trust the most and somebody you would least expect it from.
Yeah.
It's very rare that a person will get trafficked by trafficking cousin. My cousin doesn't know Banel. My cousin would either get trafficked by me, a family member, or a close friend, or maybe a colleague that they work for, because I've already known you for so long. So it's easy for me to trust Dubai. So unfortunately, that's the worst case of it, because it also reminds me of another NGO that I used to work with that actually helped with like human trafficking cases. And we ran into some of these cases where most people are actually trafficked by people they trust.
Yeah.
And that's it. It's a known fact. Compared to somebody you don't trust, Because a lot of job post, and then unfortunately sometimes it also has to do with the fact that we don't do research. O bona mosebetsi wa nene ba re motho teng o tlo patala 20,000. Ke nene feng e kgolang 20,000 mo South Africa? Ama le nene sebeletsang khanyi ba ha e khole 20k. Like, let's be realistic about some things. And that's how most people get lowered in. Money, our greed is our biggest downfall.
Yeah, so people should be careful out there. The program's name is called Alabuga. So if you see anything
sometimes. No, honestly speaking, guys. And here's my thing, Mo. And I've been saying this, I think, for the past 5 years or so, that for the most part, especially in the black society, right? But in general, as a people, but I'll bring it back to the black society. I don't think, for the most part, that really I don't, honestly speaking. I honestly do not, because black people have proven time and time again, they're smart to us, right? I think, and I could be wrong, and I stand to be corrected absolutely and utterly, but I think to a very large extent, a whole lot of us are ignorant. We are ignorant, and we're not willing to do the work to research and equip ourselves with the necessary information and knowledge. Now, there's Wi-Fi Now, there's Wi-Fi, guys, everywhere. Go to a mall, somewhere, go clinic, a public hall or whatever. There's Wi-Fi, right? Stand there and do your research. Put in the work to really look into whatever you're wanting to be involved in. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And what has been happening lately in society is that we are so ignorant to an extent that we gobble up all, and we are gullible, and we swallow all of this propaganda-fueled information. One understand? When the news say this, we take it.
Yeah.
Dobsonville was also part of that. People are going to buy it.
Yeah, Ramlata.
Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, you don't even go to an extent of authenticating this information that is put out there.
Yeah.
One understand? So, I mean, I don't know, man. I could be wrong, but mara wa utlwa lo na ka lebitso fela wa utlwa. Wena ka lo bereka ko ndawong e bitswang keng?
Alabuga.
Alabuga lo na utlwa ke company ya the boogie man. It's a bogus company.
Alabuga program, right? That's the program that was being sold to people. But you know, when it comes to social media, we want to see the pictures.
The program doesn't even sound Russian, Mo.
Guys, I mean, you could have seen the pictures where Sain Bougie was walking. Like, the building looked nice. She even went to the accommodation, you know, just walking us through horror. When you get to Russia,
this is where you're going to get to.
This is where you're going to get to. And just imagine that child who is watching on Instagram, who loves Sain Bougie.
I mean, it looks...
She doesn't question anything because it's Sain Bougie. I'm a follower, and whatever that she does, you know, is
authentic.
It's authentic.
Yes, sir.
Right. And then TC comes through on YouTube saying movies about human trafficking, Taken, Sound of Freedom, Eastern Promise, Trade, no anymore. Yes, but I think Taken is the one, you know, that
really highlights and give an insight.
An insight. You know,
how this human trafficking happens.
Because most of them, they happen online. You apply for a school online, they give you all of the details, and then when you don't ask, everything is paid for. Everything is paid for. And of course, they make sure you don't even have the money to come back. Who are you going to speak to? Because when you get there, maybe your cell phones are being taken away from you. You can't even contact anyone.
Or English, because here's the thing. I think English is the most spoken language in the world. There are countries where, hello, how are you doing? Chief, they won't understand you. They won't understand you. And you find that English is probably the third or even the fourth spoken language or most spoken language in that country. And the lack of communication also plays a role in you not being able to get help when you're stuck in that country, man.
Yeah, we just wish maybe Mkwanas can come and say, wherever you are, I will find you and I will kill you. Then they bring back our girls, right? And then Hector says, Musi, I was also lost. I couldn't understand.
Yeah, I mean the video anyways.
And then TC says, Asaz, Taraboning, guys, something is happening in the background. I mean, some of the things, including, you know, this taxi war with the e-hailing services, they can use them as, you know, social media propaganda to hide some of these things. Not knowing no, man. There's people who are watching horror. girls, but Mara, some of them are not coming back. What is going on?
And no one is making noise about that story.
Yeah. Then I have Zanelem Tembu saying, the sad part is our kids, Patanda, the fine things, Abanye, they don't know this might lead them to danger. And this is so sad. May those kids who travel to Russia return back safe. And TC saying, influencer marketing, Lola. I will never not mention Tabaya Prime, ha 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 to you. Then, Busi Pell comes and say, not just greed. For others, it's desperation. People are desperate to escalate their current realities.
Escape.
Yeah. Right, because it's Russia, guys. You know, if I'm employed to Russia, even one girl mentioned, I'm willing to move to Moscow after finishing the program. I did not know, hey man, there's a lot of You understand? Yo. Yeah, our hearts eat poison because our spirits are hungry. Only a few will understand.
She's right.
Right. So those are some of the things that people should be careful of when they look for employment opportunities, especially, in our social media. Because yes, man, it's Cyan Bougie, man. I do love her, right? I mean, if Cyan talks, I do. You understand? But this is the video that I was speaking about, Cyan Bougie. Let us quickly look at it and tell me, Hore, if you are an ordinary South African, when you would never be sold to, whatever that she is saying here.
I am in Russia, the Republic of Tatarstan. Very excited to be here. This is where the START program takes place. Apparently, girls are treated fairly here. Africans, Asians, Latin Americans, they're given housing, jobs, and on top of that, they are taught how to speak Russian. Yep. So this is a fresh new start, basically. I will be watching, listening. I'll be sharing every single thing with you guys. I need you to stay tuned and enjoy.
START program, an initiative focused on supporting young women who want to gain a profession and start their careers. The program lasts 2 years. During this time, participants go from beginners to qualified specialists. Every 6 months brings a promotion, a salary increase, and new professional skills. But the most important growth isn't just in the job itself. Participants also learn how to communicate, solve problems, and work in an international team. By the way, to help with adaptation, the program includes Russian language lessons. It makes it easier to adjust to the new environment, and honestly, I think that's a huge plus.
Meet the headquarters for the C's staff. The building does look like a pyramid, but it's not just us, actually. The START program participants actually live in here. So let's check it out.
Young women arriving to work under the program stay here. Inside, there's everything needed for daily life. Beds, wardrobes, kitchen appliances, shower, laundry. It's simple, but functional. What's interesting is that people from all over the world live in the pyramid. So the atmosphere is truly international. Conversations, languages, new friendships, it happens right inside the residence. So if you're already in the START program or just planning to join, the pyramid could be your very first home in Russia.
So, as it turns out, the participants that are in the program are guaranteed housing. So let's check that out.
Currently, program participants are staying in the South Park residential complex. It includes 11 5-story buildings designed to house around 4,200 people. The apartments are already furnished and equipped with all essential appliances. The courtyards have sports areas and a small park. The conditions are acceptable and everything needed for daily life is provided.
Now, you know where she got me? Promotion every 6 months with a salary increase. I never. Promotion every 6 months. Salary increase. Ay, guys. That should have been the first alert, man. Look at Pick and Pay about promoting after 6 months of it's okay. Now, 20 years, Pick and Pay. They're still earning the very same salary, man.
No, but and to an extent, I understand why a little girl would buy into this.
Exactly.
I get it. No. I understand. It is completely.
You understand?
It looks good. It sounds good. It's appetizing to the
well
eye.
scripted, well
man,
structured.
Come on,
you look at the place. The place is nice. You have your own stove in a shower, and you're sitting out there. You even get lessons. I mean, who wouldn't get? In a way, who wouldn't be enticed?
And all of these other influencers who are involved, they need to
answer, man.
No, genuinely so.
They need to.
They need to answer. They need to be called to book, Chief.
Yeah.
Also Russia, I get Russia when.
Are we Russia number one?
No, it's not even about that. She's a promoter. She probably didn't take Russian lessons.
She must work with the police.
I understand that. Ke bona work she tshwantse a ntshe nnete gore what happened because it can't end ko tabeng ya gore ai askisi ke
all of them are doing that, removing videos and saying sorry. Come on, 200 girls.
No, they need to be called to book, Chief. They need to be called to book. Like, I don't know, most South Africa guys, man, really hypocrite, man. Really hypocrite. Dilo tse di tom tse di stupid as bafana ba le ba go podcasting ne ba bua ka whatever tse le ba di bua. People were quick. The minister were quick to come. And cancel culture wanted to be executed. Dilo tse di serious like someone dying ko Maponya mole fela gore ke motho wa Uber kwa Bolt. No minister came to light and said I'm going to the police station or I'm going to take it up myself or whatever the case. Hona no bana ba 200 that's a lot of girls, man. That's a lot of little girls. Ba no gore di family tsa bana gona no are wondering gore ba kae waja o robetse o suile kwa leng go teng. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So no, man, so it's very irritating more and it vexes one, man. It vexes one. But anyway,
before we close off 13 minutes past 10, it is the time. Some of the testimonies that are there. I have a post from Twitter from Vooka African, and it reads as follows. You can see it right there on your screen. It's saying work at Alabuga start, African victims speak out, right?
Enlarge it.
So they tend us into overworked, underpaid laborers. That is Aminata. And then at first, everything seemed fine. We were promised jobs in logistics, services, catering, or even as crane operators. It was a rare opportunity for African girls to access these kinds of jobs. But once we arrived, everything changed. They came up with excuses. Chinara, a young Nigerian woman. We are exposed to extremely dangerous and potentially deadly chemicals. Even Russians don't stay there long because it's such a dangerous place. She wanted to take the technical training. Now she tells us about forced labor. She can hardly use her phone and is being monitored. She never received the promised $1,500. And I can't even get her back. The Alabuga officials whom I trusted remain silent. This is the mother of a Zimbabwean victim. And then my 20-year-old daughter was supposed to follow technical training, but she is doing something else. We can barely talk to her. Her passport was confiscated to prevent her from fleeing. This is the mother of a victim in Harare. And then the working conditions are so abusive. The young women speak of long working hours under constant surveillance by Alabuga management. They handle chemicals that are hazardous to their death. Julia Steniard.
To their health.
Julia Steniard, co-author of the GI report on the Alabuga source. So the program appears to amount to a form of fraudulent exploitation, as you see the poster right there. Work at Alabuga start, and African victims, they spoke out with the same program. Nope. We are being treated harshly out.
The Hawks have to get involved. Man.
And I think they have to work with these influencers,
They have to
get
and there should be consequences for these influencers if they don't want to work hand in hand with law enforcement training. With law enforcement in general, there should be consequences. When I send a video, Mama, I get you went to Russia, you were advocating for it. So if you don't want to work with us, you are called to book. You are an accomplice. You are complacent in these 200 girls having gone missing, man. So. But anyway,
not besides them only wanting to work with the police, they actually should be in jail, man, because they are the ones who are pimping these girls out, fetching them from their countries and taking them to another country. So they should also face consequences for doing that. Not
But lastly, young South African women must remain vigilant. If something looks too good to be true online, especially via an influencer recommendation, recommendation, it is probably is, right? The reality in these cases may be far more dangerous than portrayed, right? So the conversation does not only stop here. You can hit us up on our social media platforms. We have Vooka Breakfast Show on each and every social media platform. 16 minutes past 10, it is the time. And guys, last words?
For me, I just say be safe out there. Make sure you do your research. Something that sounds too good is not always the best thing for you. So be safe, do your research, make sure that you get all the information that you need for anything that may require you to go overseas or actually even a job in SA. Just do your research. You can't be paid 20,000 for just being a name. Imagine. It can't happen logically. But for me, Afriberry, also known as Miss Berry Plays, but to the darker the berry, the sweeter than Tontun. Imnandi mamnya, mam flopilek tekatekin, Marloko fambana me, where taikoma gatle, a song when I'm honey.
Yeah, man. Anyway, look, man. More, I don't know. There's not much for me. Yeah. Like I said, I'm looking forward to the Kota Festival.
Yeah.
On the 6th, the Vooka Breakfast Show will be out there, of course. And other than that, you know that we always give you a daily dose of positivity that is accompanied by an energetic start to your day. Only and exclusively right here, where radio meets TV on the Vooka Breakfast Show, brought to you by the Blinko Network. Always spending some great quality time with myself, the one and only MOOCEE Mist. My name is Musi Mist, and I've been so happy and excited to have been both in your presence and in your company. God willing, you and I can keep on sharing our thoughts, our opinions, and everything else in between bright and early tomorrow morning as you use the hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show. That's Vooka Breakfast Show on Facebook and all other social media platforms. The conversation needs not to end here, right? It continues also on our WhatsApp line by dialing the number 060-493-3226. That's 060-493-3226. Taking such good care of you every weekday morning, Monday to Friday, where we have all-encompassing, compelling, and of course, thought-provoking conversations that are scintillating, bold discussions with industry professionals like you would have seen this morning as we're in conversation with Tutuzeli Kweta. So with that being said, stay safe, stay cautious on those roads, and stay warm. It's not yet as warm as we would like it to be. And you and I will see each other bright and early tomorrow morning. Yes, sir.
Closing off with some of the comment sections on YouTube. Coming through is Hector Takalani saying, hence I don't buy face. Whether you are famous or not, I don't fall that quickly.
Yeah,
right?
Man.
And then Hector says, we don't take time to research, we cry out when we are in danger. And TC says, so this happens on such large scale. There was once a scam where people were being trafficked to the Middle East, poor countries like the Philippines, Venezuela, and most African countries fall victim. So please, guys, do make sure that you become careful out there. But with me, lastly, please, Babang Tsonse ba etrongong, not sign bougie, guys.
Oh, because we're not at the same push.
Keep saying bougie, man. We love her content.
You love her content. Chief, I don't even follow Sign Bougie on social media. You want to be those friends who sing that Bill with a song, lean on me when you're not strong.
Keep saying for us.
I'll be your friend.
Sign in the Transai Trongong, Libo Zile, Libo Mama, Bobot, yell a lot.
But yeah, man, thank you so much for chilling with us, guys. Until we see each other tomorrow, my name is Mogeti Maimane, aka Max for maximum temperature. I am the son of Mother Nature. And I'm Tlakase, Ruberikisa Generate.
Generate.
Banyana Baba Yezam.
Bye bye.